Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ben Dackey. With me is the man, the horse, the legend himself. Boomer the Horse has joined me. We're going to be live here very soon for our pregame show for OU CU Game 2, an old school Big 8 matchup. I know you know your history, Boomer, right? A lot of history in this matchup on the gridiron, and we're going to get round 2 of that here on the ice. We'll be right back with some Sooner hockey on OU Hockey TV. I'm Ben Dackey. This is Boomer the Horse. We'll be right back.
Vickers puts a man down at center ice. Big hit from 24. Shot saved by Redmond. Rebound. He got that one too. Evan coming down the wing. Secret scores!
Big shot save made by Culbertson Bond.
Front shot saved by Redmond. He'll hang on.
Hello and welcome into the Arctic Edge Ice Arena, where tonight, Game 2 of 2 for the Oklahoma Sooners and the Colorado Buffaloes will take place on what is normally UCO's home ice, but we're making it ours this weekend, like we always do.
I'm expecting a very good crowd tonight. Some special events on tap for tonight, Caleb. Why don't we tell the people at home about that?
Yeah, well, it's Native Heritage Night here for the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll have a few guests in the house tonight. There'll be quite a few ceremonies before puck drop, and right now we've got about 3.5 minutes left in warm-ups before these teams will take off.
The Sooners once again wearing these gorgeous, absolutely stunning Unity anthracite uniforms, and I must say the jerseys to the crimson pants to the gray socks, they are absolutely gorgeous. 10 out of 10. Sooner Tracker, if you're watching this live, well done, my friend. These are stunning.
We teased them, it was so hard, just hold it inside that this was in the works. We didn't get to see them until last night in person, though, and they really are a work of art.
I didn't realize this until it was described to me. They pulled a Mighty Ducks. They came out wearing one jersey in warm-ups, and they come back out wearing the Unities. Just 10 out of 10 on the execution. Some schools, they need the fancy reveal videos and the fancy bells and whistles. The Sooners, we'll just change after warm-ups and come out rocking them for the first period. Don't even worry about it.
So we'll see Brendan Culbertson Bond in net once again tonight. He's started quite a few games in a row now, but keeping his stamina up, and he's been performing at a top 10 clip in the ACHA in both goals against and save percentage, but so are both of the starting goaltenders for Colorado. These are two elite back ends.
Brendan Culbertson Bond has been nothing short of a rock for the Sooners for the last 3 or 4 years now, but Matthew Server last night was absolutely fantastic. I had a brief conversation with him before the game, and I said to him, it is very annoying for me when I have to say Server saves over and over and over again, and he was serving up saves indeed.
Yeah, and it was just, the Sooners got goalied last night. 41 shots on goal, not able to put any in the back of the net, and then it was about under 5 minutes to go in regulation, I believe, when finally the deadlock was cracked by Colorado. They put another one on there for insurance, too.
Server did give me one good quote that I believe I am allowed to use. He just said, I'm just doing my job out there. Saving pucks, that's my job.
We also got to speak with Coach Arvanitas post-game. Here's what he had to say about the Sooners' performance Friday night.
Good game. We made a couple of mental errors, and the team, Colorado, made us pay for them. We had a turnover on the first goal, second goal, another turnover. Our power play didn't score, so that's a recipe for, having the other team opportunities to win the game, and unfortunately they did. I think he had a good game. Couple of posts here and there, and what we didn't do as well as we did in the previous games, I didn't think we screened them enough, where we put bodies in front of them to make it difficult, and we didn't get into those dirty areas to get those dirty rebounds like we did in previous games. Yeah, I'll make some lineup changes. Obviously, I'll talk with my assistants and see which route we want to put in. We got some good players that unfortunately didn't play tonight, and they might get a look tomorrow.
Welcome back to Arctic Edge, where 48 seconds left here on the warm-up clocks. First period scheduled to get started a little bit late this evening. I know that might come across a little facetious saying a WCHL game gets started a little bit late tonight, but 7:10 the scheduled puck drop.
Preposterous. When has the WCHL game ever started late? But we also were able to talk to Colorado's head coach before the game last night, Trace Jablin. I set that up via a few emails between myself and the president of Colorado's hockey club, Mr. Mark Borghi. So, Trace Jablin, what did he have to say?
Definitely in the shadows of his spotlight, but the hype around the football team, just the school spirit that it builds, we're definitely going to hop on that bandwagon a little bit. We got some football replica jerseys that we're making, so it's just a really exciting time to be in Boulder, and yeah, we're enjoying it a lot. And the boys were all at the game day celebration. They were wearing their jerseys, and they found an opportunity to hand the jersey over, and he put it on. So, you know, it's good for team publicity, and yeah, the boys are really excited about it. We're up in Boulder, where a lot of those heavy hitters are down in Denver, so we have our own little home, we have our own little following, and it's great to have a state with a lot of hockey players, because, you know, some good players tend to end up at CU because it's close to home. So even for recruitment purposes, it's really nice.
I think when Deion Sanders went to Colorado, I was incredibly shocked. Like, I did not think in a million years that prime time of all people would end up coaching football at the University of Colorado, but he's really rejuvenated that university. So everyone who's anybody is talking about the Buffaloes football program, despite a few tough losses here and there. That was a really rough one to Stanford last night, but there's just so much excitement. And when a club hockey team can get someone as big as Mark Ingram, who is on Big Noon Kickoff now, to wear a Buffaloes hockey jersey, that's cool, man.
It certainly is. And, you know, the WCHL and the ACHA as a whole has been, you know, making inroads in the mainstream a lot in this past couple of years.
I think it's important, and he was able to talk about this being a flagship university in a state that is known for hockey. It is very, very easy to it is a lot of fun for them, and it does give them a good recruiting pipeline. But I will hold that thought. We're going to pitch things down to ice level for Britton Ross. Britton?
Thanks, Ben. Talking to Coach Arvanitis pregame, he had said that they didn't get the Colorado goalie moving at all. They didn't force any kind of hard shots on him. And what they need to do tonight, take a page out of Bill Belichick's playbook, get back to the basics, just trust your teammates, and do your job. Back up to you guys.
I had that exact same thought the second Coach Arvanitis said it. Do your job. That was very Belichick of him, Caleb.
It was, and, you know, this is a team that they're not just learning these new systems now for the first time. There's been 18 months with Coach Arvanitis. They're starting to apply these concepts instead of learn them on the ice.
One player who I thought was just absolutely phenomenal systematically last night was defenseman Jake Barone. Barone, he's in year 2 here. And he had a lot of shine last year. I mean, any defenseman who was on OU last year did get a lot of playing time, but he's been asked to do a little bit more this season, and he's really stepped up. He's not making any stupid decisions in the defensive zone. He's very sound with the decisions he makes with the puck. He's an absolute monster in passing lanes. He was like a vacuum cleaner, just sucking up passes left and right. Just Colorado couldn't get by him at all. So I'm looking forward to seeing him continue to grow and step into this role. And he's not a member of the Sooners captains. He doesn't have an A on his chest, but honestly, he might as well.
Yeah, and we spoke to Coach Arvanitis in the Open tonight a little bit about how Barone is really stepping into a leadership role now. He's an upperclassman on this team, and he's really starting to prove why he's getting these big responsibilities on the ice.
Now, we talked about Matthew Server and how good he was last night, but I think the Sooners, and Coach Arvanitis said this as well, they need to create more traffic in front of Matthew Server's crease. Coach Arvanitis estimated that the Colorado netminder, about 80 to 85% of his saves, the Sooners just didn't have anyone in front of him. And for a goaltender of this caliber, you need to get someone in front of his face. He should not be able to see the puck as cleanly as he did last night. And if you screen Server a little bit better on maybe 1, 2 shots, even 3 shots, you win that game.
Yeah, and it's really just the Sooners needed some puck luck last night, and you don't want to be in a situation where you're relying on puck luck in any kind of game right now, especially getting into conference play. They have all the momentum, being 6-0 heading into this series, now 6-1 on the season, and they really got to get back into the swing of things and put some scoring on the board tonight. Their power play has been dynamic so far this year, but last night 0 for 6.
I would argue that sometimes you need to create your own puck luck, and that's what the Sooners need to do. When you dominate a possession as much as they did last night, you just got to put the puck in the net, man. And there was a lot of unhappiness that we could visibly see when the Sooners went on Hockey Time in Oklahoma on Wednesday night, that they were unhappy about being unranked. But last night was their chance to make a statement in a WCHL game against a very good Colorado team, and honestly, they didn't take that opportunity, and now they need to do it tonight.
About 18 minutes until puck drop. Let's take a quick look at some of the scoring leaders for Colorado. Douglas Wood leads the way right now. 4 games played, 4 goals, 3 assists in those games for 7 points. Behind him, Brody Pearson and Adam Trunco, both with 6 each. We've seen Trunco for quite a few years here, causing problems for Oklahoma.
It's a running theme. This Colorado team has a lot of new faces that I haven't recognized, but Adam Trunco has just been a bugaboo for the Sooners team for years now.
And beyond him, Liam O'Gwen also, we may see him in net tonight. Last night it was his counterpart, but we've seen him here for multiple years being a thorn in the Sooner side.
I need to see what is in the water that the goaltenders of the opposing teams use in the opposing dressing rooms, because the Sooners just have the uncanny ability to get goalied here at the Arctic Edge Ice Arena.
So Sooners come into tonight with a few big scorers of their own. Nate Payne in his 7 games, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points for him. Ben Mondu, 9 points, and Tristan Glass, 8 points. 5 of the Sooners still above a point per game so far.
That does remind me, I would like to give a big shout out to the Mondu clan watching this broadcast all the way out in Quebec. I mean, we're an international broadcast, Caleb. That is a pretty cool thing to say at our tender age and young broadcast careers.
Yeah, and last year we had a few viewers according to the YouTube statistics from Brasilia last month even.
Yeah, I still think that was a VPN, Caleb.
Yeah, that one may have been brought to you by
No one
NordVPN.
in Brazil is watching an Oklahoma hockey game. No. Christian, put your shoulders down. It's not happening. It was a VPN and we all know it.
About 16 minutes until puck drop here. We'll take a quick break on OU Hockey TV and be right back for the opening ceremonies here tonight. You're watching OU Hockey on OU Hockey TV.
Step right up. Buckle up. The only direction we're headed is... Yep, you get it. Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma.
In some ways, this film is like the university itself.
The one flagship university that has served the state since before there was a state.
Its story is never entirely completed.
Where one scoop of dirt can save thousands of lives. Where one group of biologists are connecting with world-class meteorologists to protect the one world, one planet that connects us all. Whoa, that one literally might land on the moon. But that's fine, because what's stopping us from going up there and getting it? This is a team, a squad, a family, leading a collective pursuit where we share all ideas, embrace thousands of different perspectives, and require every last hand on deck.
Cleared for takeoff.
What else we got? More trophies than you can count? Check. Rhodes Scholars? Check. Largest research engine in the state? Check. The next generation realizing a new American dream? Okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's OKLAHOMA. It's the strength of many marching under one crimson and cream flag, creating Sooner magic that must be seen to be believed at the one university where one OU family makes up the one and only Oklahoma.
Welcome back to the Arctic Edge Ice Arena, where we are just about set to get things started here. Just $1:09 left on the clock before pregame introductions. Let's take a quick look at the scene outside today. It was a fantastic fall evening here in Central Oklahoma today. Got a quick look at the Arctic Edge sign. Got a new dot matrix OU sign on there. And Ben, I think we have a few pregame ceremonies that we'll have you introduce us to.
Yes, tonight OU Hockey is celebrating and recognizing Indigenous People Month and the many Native American tribes and people across the state of Oklahoma and the United States. Oliver Little Cook, chairman of the Ponca tribe, and members of his family will perform the Native American National Anthem here tonight. And we will also have Gordon Yellowman, the chief of the Cheyenne tribe. And in the dressing room, Mr. Yellowman performed a traditional tribal cedar ceremony for the Sooners, and he offered protection and blessing for the team. And Chief Yellowman will offer a blessing here to the team on the ice here in just a few short moments. And I gotta say, we have someone down there in a traditional headdress, and I must say this is absolutely amazing to look at. This is amazing.
This is, we fight and fight and fight, give this program the air of legitimacy it deserves. And tonight, it really feels like everything is coming together right now. This is, maybe the most fantastic pregame we've had here, and as long as I can remember being in the booth with you.
I mean, this program has been trying for years to assert themselves as really the Oklahoma hockey team, and when they do stuff like this, that certainly puts them well on their way to being one.
And we've got Boomer on the ice here tonight doing a little dance near the blue line, where I believe the Sooners will be defending in the first period. They'll be attacking from left to right on your screen when we get going here tonight. We mentioned earlier that Brendan Culbertson-Bond getting the nod in net tonight. We'll take a look at the other starters for OU. Quickly on the back end, Hunter Howe and Jacob Rieger will be defending the blue line for the Sooners. Tristan Glass in the middle with Logan Sadler and Logan Cavalcanti flanking him up front tonight.
Coach Arvanites, he likes to shuffle his lines. We don't know who is in and who is out from last night, but Tristan Glass has been a staple in the OU lineup for years now, and him getting the start at center, it just looks right to see that number 12 at the opening faceoff.
It also just looks right to see the amount of OU hockey jerseys in the crowd. They were for sale for one of the first times in a while last year, and there's a few classic ones out there as well, but, just so much great Sooner pride in the building tonight.
Well, funnily enough, Sooner legend Connor Fry was in the building last night. He was rocking his old school black alternate jersey with his old 29 on the back end. He was very pleased to know that no one is wearing his 29 in his absence.
Well, maybe we'll have to retire it for him knowing that.
See, don't get me started on the practice of retiring numbers. I mean, look, when the Montreal Canadiens are on the ice and there are 5 guys out and they're all wearing numbers in the 70s and the 80s and it looks stupid, Caleb. Put the numbers in the rafters, sure, but retiring them is no.
So maybe more of a football approach to it?
Yes, exactly.
The Ring of Honor?
I don't think there's anything wrong with someone wanting to wear Jean Beliveau's number 4. Really, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And then the Leafs were doing it right for decades, where you have the number in the rafters. You're honoring the player and what he meant to a certain team, and then they ruined it for their centennial.
Well, we can see over near the Sooner dressing room, Blake Swearingen by the entrance here, and it looks like Sooners are about to be introduced onto the ice. So not only is the football team on a bye this week, we looked on the OU football Wikipedia page. The date, October 14th, is not mentioned one time in the history of Oklahoma Sooners football. This may be the most uneventful calendar day in Sooner football history.
Well, let's hope OU hockey makes a little bit of history here tonight.
BCB leading him out onto the ice, Blake Swearingen, as he's grown accustomed to, handing out some high fives to everybody on their way out.
And in other news for former Sooners in the building, I do believe Tristan Bonifay was in the building. I did hear rumors of a sighting of an old Bonifay jersey. Perhaps it was, I don't know if it was him or a family member, but always good to see the former Sooners around supporting their teammates.
So it looks like we will be seeing Matthew Server in net once again tonight for the Buffaloes.
Perhaps one of the cleanest pad setups in the WCHL.
Sooners about to be announced onto the ice. They'll take their places on the blue line.
Is that a ceremonial drum I see on the ice? This is going to be just a fantastic ceremony for pregame, Caleb. I'm really looking forward to seeing this firsthand.
Same here, and we'll make sure we get it all for you. Only on OU Hockey TV. You can catch up with us on social media at Sooner Hockey TV on Twitter with the team's official page at OU Hockey. As the most interesting goaltender in the world is introduced, and the Sooners will come up to the blue line, and we'll step aside for a moment for the opening ceremonies here tonight.
Thank you to Gordon. And Chief Yellowman and Chairman Little Cook will perform the ceremonial puck drop. The Ponca tribe was the first Native American tribe to create such an anthem to celebrate the nation. And that was some powerful stuff, Caleb.
Yeah, that was a fantastic ceremony that I think everybody in attendance can go home remembering for a long, long time.
And when the Buffaloes came in from Boulder, I don't think they knew they were going to be taking part in a ceremony like this.
And you can see on all the faces there that, a lot of smiles across everybody here in attendance wearing any shade of gold that came out in support of the Buffaloes or as a staff member or player on the team.
And on that note, we've got some hockey to play.
Yeah, back to the task at hand here for us in the booth. It's hockey time in Oklahoma now. 20 minutes on the clock. First period action about to get underway. Sooners and Buffaloes only on OU Hockey TV. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Send it to your friends and family. Share us on social media. We love all the attention we can get. And if you'd like, send us a direct message on Twitter about where you're listening from or watching from here tonight. We'll give you a shout out no matter where you're from around the world.
Hockey Fights Cancer on Friday, Indigenous People Day on Saturday. Pretty solid weekend of events, but now it's time for the main event.
Yeah, we've got more special stuff in the works in the future. Bedlam on ice coming up in February. The I-35 rivalry 4 more times this year, and this is a Sooners team that if they're going to want to get back in the win column in that competition, this is the one that's going to do it this year.
Lots of fun stuff on tap for the Sooners as this season progresses, but for now, we've got a WCHL matchup to call. Let's do this, Caleb.
So like we mentioned in the pregame, to be Tristan Glass at center ice. Logan Sadler and Cavalcanti will be flanking him on the right and left, respectively. Jacob Rieger and Hunter Howe on the back end. And we've spoken to this a couple times so far this year, Ben. Hunter Howe really evolving into a first-line defenseman for the Sooners team this year.
Well, Hunter Howe has been asked to play essentially top pair minutes since he came here from the Northeast, and that's what he's been for the Sooners, and he's just gotten better as time has moved on.
So the puck is dropped here, and Colorado will win this one back. It's Kitty holding on to it, and he's going to go across to his defensive partner. It's John Ferguson to open this one up. Intercepted by Sadler in the offensive zone, though, and he'll wind one on net. It was deflected out in front, never got home, and Sadler will chase this one to the left side boards and backhand it into the zone. Buffaloes will take control back behind their own net now. Holding on to that one, Samuel Pearson, and now Sadler heavy on the forecheck, trying to force a play in the offensive zone, and he's able to draw a whistle early on.
If someone took a good look at the blue rafters above us, I'm pretty sure they could get a pretty good look at quite a few black bruises from pucks.
Yeah, those have been quite used, and I believe it's Tristan Bonifay, I believe, that took a puck to the head off of one of those near the end of last year. No, Declan Martin, rather, was who it was, as this one's dropped, and it's a contested draw that the Buffaloes will push all the way to the right sideboard, and they're going to try and get a breakout going here. It's Borgie going down the wing. He wins the race to the offensive zone. Hunter Howe dogging him. A pass out in front is going to be deflected wide. Great back check by Rieger to make sure nothing happened there. Back up to the point now. A weak shot goes wide of Culbertson Bond, and Colorado will chase this one back behind the Sooners netminder. Wrap opportunity out in front, held on to by BCB, and he's going to melt that one down for a whistle. His first challenge is a big one.
I believe that was Henry Bunting trying to be a little sneaky there on Culbertson Bond's post, but luckily for the Sooners, the big fella is holding strong.
We saw last night the South Carolina Gamecocks win a game on a wraparound opportunity. They actually had a Michigan goal in overtime to walk it off.
That's not what you called that goal the last time we talked about this, Caleb.
Oh, you've threatened me a couple times about calling it the Svechnikov, as Ben Mondu will chase a puck into the corner. Buffalo's won the draw back, but Oklahoma in the defensive zone tonight been stingy outside of those two chances right in front of their netminder. Barone, we mentioned him a lot in pregame, passes up to Andrew Lowe, and now Mondu. He's on the top three in scoring for the Sooners. A lot of assists this year so far. He's got 8 apples already, and he takes a hit into the corner to make a play. This is the scoring line for OU.
I was able to speak to Ben Mondu's father in the stands during the first intermission, and Mondu is happy with all the assists he's getting, but he wants some more goals, Caleb.
Just 1 goal so far on the year to go with 8 assists. He leads the team in that latter category as a turnover behind the net. That could have been dangerous. Mondu tries to get a shot away. His stick was lifted on the play by Luke Gosnell. Mondu gets possession along the boards back to Swearingen. He lets one go that was deflected in front by Lowe. It never got through. Caught him on the skate boot.
That is exactly what Coach Arvanitis was talking to us about in the pregame. Andrew Lowe right in front of Matthew Server's eyes.
And though the shot didn't get through, that is the recipe we talked about as BCB keeps the puck alive, and Jake Barone will dump it in behind Matthew Server. Buffaloes regain possession of their own ice. There's Goldstein. Good to see him back on the ice this weekend after missing a little bit of time with a concussion, and he'll chase his man off to the sideboards. Big hit from Goldstein, the biggest Sooner, but Colorado retains possession. They're coming back to the blue line now. Shot was deflected, and it's going to catch the top of the glass. Will stay in play. Connor Horn in on the play now for the Sooners. Back checking now is a couple of the Buffaloes, and it's Horn back in the corner, now giving chase. This one deflected by Carson Glass, the younger of the two brothers, and the Sooners have a breakout now. It's Goldstein with a lot of space to work with. He's going to chip this one deep. 2-on-1 for the Sooners if they hurry into the corner to Manchuk as Blake. Leading goal scorer for the Sooners last year, heading into the final series, William Blake, overtaken by Nate Payne late in the year, but the Sooners sophomore established himself as a threat early on in the year. Connor Horn chasing back behind the Sooners net. He'll dispossess his man for the moment, and now Goldstein will chase back behind the net. Colorado with possession. Chance out in front, and Culbertson Bond is going to swallow that one.
No such thing as a bad shot, but a shot from such a sharp angle, you're not beating Brendan Culbertson Bond with that.
It was, Drew McConaughey who took the shot out in front of BCB. So far, he is 2 for 2 on saves.
All right, is what Brendan Culbertson Bond says whenever someone takes a shot from that part of the ice.
Tristan Glass back in the face-off dot here. About 3 minutes passed in period number 1. No scoring. It took about 55 minutes for scoring last night, but hold on to your hats because here comes Tristan Glass in the wing. He's got Sadler next to him. Sadler's shot goes wide. He had Server out of position for the moment, and now Cavalcanti recovered, and he sends that one straight out of play.
A fan who was on her phone nearly got clocked in the back of the head with a puck.
Got to stay vigilant here. We've learned that the hard way a couple times in the booth.
Caleb, stop saying that. You're going to jinx us. I'm the one who's leaning out. I'm the one who's leaning out over the wall here.
Can't knock on wood in this booth, unfortunately, as Buffs win this draw back. They've been stingy on the faceoff so far and winning back quite a few of them. Rieger will try to play it forward. It's intercepted again by the Buffaloes. And back in his own zone, Jesse Kitty will try to make something happen. Slap pass into the Sooners zone, finds nobody, but Colorado heavy forecheck now. They'll take possession, and somebody caught Hunter Howe up high. He'll continue on. Rieger back behind his own net will cycle looking for the puck. Has to take it, and he's taken down hard from behind. Penalty upcoming on Colorado, and the Sooners, if they can get out of their zone, will have the extra attacker for a moment.
Garrett Mashish, the perpetrator on that boarding call.
3-on-2 developing for the Sooners. It's Sadler walking in. He'll drag and go around the net with this one holding on to possession. 6 skaters out for the Sooners now. They'll go across for Howe. Howe winds up and shoots one that goes just wide. It was deflected in front, and now Colorado touches up.
Coach Arvanitis definitely told his players the same thing he told us. 2 Sooners standing in front of Matthew Server's eye line as Hunter Howe took a cannon of a slap shot.
I haven't seen our first howitzer of the year make it to the back of the net, but With that kind of clap bomb potential, it's only a matter of time. Sooners with their first power play of the game, 0 for 6 last night. How'd they look then?
Sooners power play, they just couldn't, they were getting their chances, but they just, like Coach Arvanites said, they weren't getting a lot of high-quality looks because Matthew Server could just see every shot they took pretty cleanly.
So it is Garrett Mitchie in the sin bin right below us here in the booth. Wearing 88 in white tonight. The Sooners will send Nate Payne, Ben Mondu, Andrew Lowe, Connor Horn, and Brendan Sinclair. That's Jake Barone. Check it on the far side.
There's a 6 there. I can see how you can mix that up. There's a 6 on that nameplate. And Brendan Culbertson-Bond appears to be having a problem in his crease as the official and one of the rink employees take a look.
Well, I can confirm that the pegs in our nets are real.
And they work about half the time. 50% of the time, they work almost never.
I think BCB got some new additions to his goalie mask this year. He added a pink ribbon on the back of it, and then...
Did you touch his drum set, Caleb?
I did not touch his drum set.
Did you touch his drum set?
It'd be great if we could get BCB to show us what he can do on the drums. Perhaps something we could do on a Wednesday one time this year.
Just roll in a drum set for Hockey Time in Oklahoma?
We'll roll in a snare, maybe a set of tenors. He can play us jig 2. Four minutes exactly gone in period number 1. So the Sooners, with a square amount of time on the power play, they'll take it down to 14 if they use all of it.
Boomer the Horse making the rounds in the stands as he's having a good time with the netting above the glass.
Unique feature here in the Arctic Edge Arena is seeing that netting go all the way around, but the glass is so low on that side.
So many puck over glass calls, which thankfully isn't the penalty in the ACHA. Otherwise, we'd probably get a lot more power plays at this rink.
So it looks like we're just about set to go now. BCB makes a final check on his net. He gives it a couple of stick taps. I think he loves what he sees now as Mondu sets for the draw, opposite of Keaton Foy, and Mondu will win it back with the help of Andrew Lowe. Barone quickly gets it away, back to Mondu. Now Barone holding onto it up top, got Sinclair on the right side. Instead, he takes a shot that was deflected, and Sinclair will clean up the rebound. There's Barone once again, goes to his left side. Mondu walking in, shooting one that's held onto, and now squirts back out. Rebound's available. Andrew Lowe back to his feet, wraps it around the boards, and Barone keeps it in, soccer style, to himself. Great play there to hold it in the zone.
Matthew Server picking up right where we left off last night.
So now Mondu will go back to Barone up top, holding onto it right near that horse head. Back to his left side. Mondu walking, got a lane, shoots one off the goalpost. Rebound, score! Sooners on top in 4 minutes.
65 minutes later, the Sooners finally solve the puzzle that is Matthew Server.
So let's take a look at what happened here. It was Barone over to the left side. Mondu shot rings the post, but a rebound, chaotic play in the back of the net. They're able to send it home on the back end.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Andrew Lowe, who's made a bit of a habit of getting these dirty goals on the doorstep.
And now reapproaching the lead in goals for the Sooner team this year. I think he ties now Nate Payne with 5 on the season. Had a hat trick a couple of weeks ago. And late to the party is Logan Cavalcanti. He'll make his way back out to center ice now.
Now, first of all, I object to the officials calling these Sooners uniforms black in color. These uniforms are clearly more of a gray. Anthracite, to be exact.
And so now the Buffaloes try to respond quickly. Rieger marks his man at the blue line, and chasing in is Tristan Glass. He's the first Sooner to it. Tries to play it on the backhand, but the Buffalo recover. Big shot coming from the blue line, goes wide. Don't know if it hit anything in front, and we have another stoppage.
There's a piece of something in the corner. I'm not sure what that is.
Tristan Glass, Johnny on the spot, picks that one up, and I can't tell what he has a hold of over there.
Whatever it is, one of the linesmen has pocketed it. Can't be that bad. Perhaps a piece of equipment. It almost looked like a sock. I'm glad to see that our former home, the Crow's Nest, is being used by a few. I'm not sure who's in there, but the Crow's Nest is in use.
Did that puck just clear the netting?
I believe it did.
So maybe the highest puck we've seen here this year so far, as the draw was won back by Colorado. They immediately had their shot deflected high. Yeah, good to see some folks up there in the Crow's Nest, our old home.
And thank you to my former roommate, Garrett, for watching us live. Good to hear from you again, buddy.
So draws one back, weird formation. It's a set play for the Buffaloes, but it was blocked in front, and the Sooners are developing a rush here. Here's Tristan Glass with Logan Cavalcanti driving into the zone. Glass is the first one to the puck, tries to get it over to Cavalcanti, can't do it, and they get tangled up together. Now they're able to finally wrestle possession away from the Buffaloes, and back to the point they go. It's Howe holding on to it. Howe fakes the shot, and now he'll dump it in deep. Out in front for Glass, he'll take a shot that I think caught the mask of Server.
Matthew Server already having a hard time with those pegs. That net already coming off multiple times here in the first 6 minutes of this game.
Saw a late arm up on the official. Don't believe anything's being called here, though.
I wonder what the sizing is like for getting a hockey jersey on an anthropomorphic horse. Like, what do you think how do you think they size that? Do you think that's a large, an extra large, maybe a double XL?
Maybe.
I mean, Boomer is looking pretty trim these days.
There's Barone off the draw shot, tipped in front by Blake, and Server makes a nice save in the butterfly position.
Sooners just racking up high tips.
So Adam Trunco, the captain of these Buffaloes, will play it forward. They're offside now, can't get this one at the zone, and now they'll touch up and we'll come back out to center ice. Some extracurriculars now. Will Blake takes a shove after the play. That was Samuel Pearson he's having a conversation with.
As Samuel Pearson voices his discontent with the officials as he reaches the Colorado bench.
So puck dropped at the Sooners' blue line. It's going to be dumped in right behind Colberts and Bond and chased down by Barone. Barone, nice move on the backhand to draw some space. And now he'll try to start a breakout with Matthew Demanchuk. Demanchuk, puck in his skates, turned over now. Dangerous chance for the Buffs, and a great stick lift behind by Carson Glass. Blake Swearingen, the largest Sooner on defense until this year, that might be, is hounding his man deep in the blue line. The Sooners nearly force a turnover, but the Buffs hold it onside for the moment. Barone deep in his own zone. He takes a hit to make a play. Puck still in deep. Driving now, Mark Borger. He was a problem last year, and now across. One-timer from the point was blocked by Carson Glass.
That one stings.
So Carson Glass with a stinging foot now. He'll try to force position, and another shot is tipped out in front. Never caught Culbertson Bond, though. Still just 2 shots on goal for the Buffaloes, but they're threatening now. Starting to buzz around the Sooners off defensive zone. Pass out in front, and Culbertson Bond, I think, stopped that one before it had any chance to be dangerous.
Little NHL 22 style cross-crease pass. Christian, if you shake your head at me every time I make a bad joke, your neck is going to be sore by the end of this game.
I don't know what's going on. NHL 22 is a perfectly balanced game with no broken exploits.
We need to install a sarcasm graphic so the viewers at home know when we're being disingenuous.
We love electronic
Christian,
arts.
get on that.
So Sooners will bar it in for the draw here. It's one back contested by the Buffaloes, and McConaughey will try to draw this one deep. George Issa is in on the puck here. Baird dogging him behind the net, and the Sooners force it free. Connor Horn now turned over once again. McConaughey. Hard work in behind the net as a one-timer from the point, deflected, never got through, and Declan Martin chases after this one. Horn on his backhand, plays it off the board. Swearingen tries to paw it down, or rather, that was Duncan Hollander. First time we've seen his name tonight. McConaughey by the blue line, and looks like another call here against the Buffaloes, a hooking call behind the play.
Sooners 1 for 1 on the power play so far tonight. Let's see if they can make it 2 for 2.
See if they can't create some more chaos deep in the offensive zone. 4 shots on goal. One of them's made it home. We've played about 7 minutes and 3 seconds here tonight so far, and they'll send out that same line of Payne, Lowe, and Mondu up front with Sinclair and Barone on the back end.
As Drew McConaughey voices his hard feelings towards the hooking call he was just subjected to.
Mondu wins the drawback cleanly, maybe the first time for the Sooners tonight. Sinclair walking with the puck, holding on to it. Now back up top for Barone. Barone walks the line back to Mondu. Barone again as they have a catch. Sinclair, cross-ice pass was deflected, but the Sooners regain it. Mondu over to Sinclair. Buffalo's moving now. Barone shot deflected, never got through, and now Payne will take possession in the back. Sooners have Colorado moving around quite a bit here on the second power play. Barone lets one go on the ice. It was deflected. Once again, no challenge for Server. Mondu plays it back behind Payne out in the bumper spot. Couldn't get a shot away. Great stick lift and the contest in front by the Buffaloes, and they'll dump it all the way down.
Keaton Foy making a nice play in the OU passing lanes to break up that play.
Oh, collision there at the Sooners' own blue line. Barone goes down. Looks like he may have had some contact in the left rear from Ben Mondu as they tried to get into the zone. He'll go off for a line change. Hunter Howe replaces him, and now Mondu plays it over to the fresh Howe. Howe in deep, looking for Nate Payne. He'll play it on the forehand, now back to Mondu. A lot of open ice near the point, and they'll go that way for Howe. Howe winds up, fires one that was deflected in front. Rebound try. Lowe couldn't get a stick to it.
Brendan Sinclair just almost begging for a pass there. Lots of open space there for the Sooner winger.
Sinclair loves that spot on the ice on the power play. If they can get it to him, he loves to let it go. And now with speed, here comes Tristan Glass starting his engine. Glass with Cavalcanti out in front, tried to float one on net for him. Cavalcanti brought down in the crease, no call given. And the Buffaloes get another dump out.
The 254s, Cavalcanti and Luke Gosnell getting into it.
And
it's the Sooners' turn to go to the box.
Yeah, Goldstein's going to have a tripping penalty here. He brought down one of the Buffaloes. That was Henry Bunting.
Both of us with some pretty good experiences with hockey players named Bunting.
Yeah, first goal of the season for my Hurricanes coming from Michael. No relation between the two.
The man who should have won the Calder Trophy 2 years ago in the NHL.
With 25 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey, as it could have been a dangerous play out in front. Good to see Bunting get back up from that one. It looked to us from our angle, he may have gone upper body first into the boards, but pops right back up after. Nonetheless, Goldstein to the box. Sooners' first time on the penalty kill tonight. Glass on the draw. It's won back by the Buffaloes. Trunko's shot is saved by Culbertson Bond, and he kicks that one out with a purpose. Swearingen in deep. Sooners utilizing a big lineup right now as Trunko lets one go along the ice. Swearingen can't clean it up. Trunko one more time. He'll go across. Whiff on the shot from Kitty. Tristan Glass on his backhand, able to force it out of the zone. 6 seconds left on the Buffaloes penalty, and they're going to head onto the power play with Drew McConaughey scooting out of the box right about now.
All right, says Drew McConaughey as he heads to the bench.
So penalty kill now for the Sooners. They got 1:27 to work with, and collision at center ice. The Buffaloes will reset. Back for Adam Trunko. He loses control for the moment, regains it, and he'll start his engine on the near side. Plays one off the boards that wraps around Culbertson Bond. Rieger is there, trying to stop it in the corner. Tristan Glass trying to help out. Now Kede holding on to it at the point. Tries to go in towards the bumper spot. Nobody home. And now the Buffaloes will regain control. Shot in the very sharp angle was shouldered away by Culbertson Bond. Back up to the top now. Douglas Wood holding on to it. One of the top 3 scorers this season for the Buffaloes, and he has his stick lifted by Rieger. Puck comes away, and Carson Glass chases after it. Couldn't get a piece of it. Swearingen behind the net, slaps it around the boards, and he'll get it past the Buffaloes blue line and out for a line change. Max Borgie with a pass from Samuel Pearson will circle in his own zone and hand it off. And now the play off the boards. The Buffaloes in with speed. Here's Swearingen trying to stop it. Barone also in on the play. They couldn't do it. Now a cross-ice pass for Borgie. Borgie holding on, goes out in front, and an on-the-ice pass got deflected. He's looking for a tip out in front as William Baird joins the ice. Connor Horn also in here on the power play as Borgie forces a turnover in deep. Tries to go around the net. He was looking for a friend, couldn't find one, and it was John Ferguson. Ferguson back at the point now to his natural position. Plays for McConaughey. He'll have a catch at the board, but it was misplayed, and here comes William Bard in the foot race. It'll be won by Ferguson as the Sooners get back to even strength. Another turnover forced here by Hollander. Hollander in front for Martin, who shot along the ice, is deflected away by Matthew Server.
Declan Martin, good to see him back in the lineup.
Declan Martin led the Sooners in goals for the early portion of last season before cooling off a little bit, and now him with his opposite number will charge down the left side. That's William Baird in 17. Manchuk on the forecheck, couldn't get it away, and now Foy driving into the zone. Rieger with a stick lift, tries to get it away from Foy. He's successful in his endeavor, and now William Blake plays out on his forehand away. Sooners on the breakout, not able to control it. It's to Manchuk. Quick first period, only 8.5 minutes left in it so far as Hunter Howe played along the ice for William Blake. He chips it into the zone as the Sooners try to put pressure on the forecheck. And get to really establish anything at even strength so far. Now on the backhand, couldn't keep it in. And it'll come across the blue line near us. Carson Glass trying to get a piece of it. He does. And now William Blake locked in combat with a couple of Buffaloes. I believe first one there was Luke Gosnell. And away comes Bunting. Bunting along the ice, easily held onto by Culbertson Bond.
5 shots so far for the Buffaloes. Culbertson Bond not really asked to do too much. Buffs haven't tested the seasoned OU netminder as of yet.
And I think a large part of that is the highly improved back end for the Sooners this season so far. We spoke about the collection of meat, you like to call it, Ben, that Coach Arvanitis brought in as the Buffaloes want to draw back, but it's uncontrollable, and Cavalcanti forces them all the way into their own zone. Douglas Wood takes a big hit in front of us from Tristan Glass, the most physical forward on the Sooners, and now he'll control the puck and cut up ice. Glass with a nice juke move trying to get around his man. He'll cut in the corner and go top for Swearingen. Swearingen forces it in deep. Linesman has to duck a head-hunting puck. And Cavalcanti delivers a hit to his man, a reverse check on the boards. But the Sooners going to lose possession here in the back end of the zone. Forecheck still on. This is the best line looking out, the best looking line at even strength rather, so far for the Sooners. As Tristan Glass nearly keeps it in the zone. Sadler paws it down at center ice, and he'll try to force his way in deep. Sadler on his backhand, Cavalcanti first Sooner to it, and he's able to somehow gain possession with a strong play at the blue line. Alexander Hartman for the Buffaloes out in front, turned over, and Connor Horn, rather Sadler, nearly puts the Sooners up too.
Just a very bad turnovers by the Buffaloes back end. Logan Sadler, he's going to put that one in 99 times out of 100.
A lot of the Sooners shots tonight have been low and along the ice, and that's where Servers made his money so far. Nothing to drop down to that butterfly position, but it's offered up with 2 juicy rebounds. The Sooners capitalizing on one of them earlier tonight. Bunting off the draw was dispossessed by Mondu, and now Ben Mondu into the back of the zone, tries to force it around the boards, didn't have much on it, and now Max Borgi will control here in his own zone. Borgi trying to draw somebody onside with him, and he does. It's Bunting. Bunting into the corner is marked by Goldstein. He's able to force the man off, kind of boxing out like a basketball player. Now the Sooners at 3-on-2 if they hurry. It's Lowe coming up the near side. Lowe trying to go inside for Mondu, couldn't do it, but the Sooners retain possession for the moment. They do, rather, as Nate Payne backhands it deep. Here's Mondu trying to get it out in front for Lowe. He couldn't get a stick to it, and now Bunting will control for the Buffaloes. Cross corner dumping from Bunting. Looks like the Buffaloes need a partial line change here. They do. And Connor Horn on his forehand. Nice pass to Andrew Lowe. He's got some space to work with. Lowe walking in, shoots one that's blocked. And now the Sooners are trying to regain possession. It's Goldstein in deep from his positioning.
John Ferguson with a nice block there with his left leg.
Seen a lot of him so far tonight. John Ferguson, that is, as Payne trying a nice little loose puck deke, and another penalty behind the play here. I think the Sooners are going back to the power play.
Some gentlemanly conduct there from Nate Payne as he hands John Ferguson his dropped stick.
And it's Mark Borgi, the penalized man for the Buffaloes.
I do believe they call hockey the gentleman's game. Isn't that right, Caleb?
Hey, when you get a bunch of angry men to go play their sport on the hardest surface on the world with knives on the bottom of their feet, you got to be gentlemanly off the ice.
A gentleman's game.
So Tristan Glass on the draw for the Sooners' third power play opportunity of the night. Second one was abbreviated by their own penalty. First one they scored on. Culbertson Bond plays one off his own goalpost. That was nearly a disaster.
Heading into this series, the Sooners' power play was scoring at a clip of about 18% or so, and that's good, but I don't think it's where Coach Arvanitis wants his power play to be heading into the home stretch of the season.
So Sadler will gain the zone. He'll turn tightly and play it back to Jake Barone here. He'll swap places with Sinclair, trying to get to his off wing. He does. Space to work with now for Sinclair. Cross-ice pass. Sinclair shoots one that's blocked. Great play by Goslow. Got it off the blade of his stick, but it stays in.
The Buffaloes have to keep closer attention to Sinclair here. You give him that much space, he's just going to tee off on server.
Cavalcanti locked in combat in front of the net. Barone lets one go. That one's blocked off of a skate boot. Cavalcanti went down a moment ago. No call provided. A near turnover right in front, and looks like we are going to get another call here. I think one of the Sooners has been nabbed for a slash.
Cavalcanti for slashing, as he doesn't like the call, but it appears that he's accepted it.
And so the Sooners freshman will make his way to the sin bin. He was taken down right in front of the net, maybe a retaliatory strike or something as he was trying to get back to his feet and regain positioning that the referees here keyed in on. Second time in a row, the Sooners have ended their own power play with a penalty of their own. Minute 10 of 4-on-4 time this time around, as it looks like once again Culbertson Bond's net has an issue. Not sure who that is that came out to do the dirty work and fix it, but our Mike Rowe and representative getting the job done. Will Blake in the face-off circle wins it back, but right to Culbertson Bond and Hoffman melts it down.
The shots are decently even so far, only 8-5 in favor of the Sooners, but it does feel like the Sooners once again are really controlling the pace of play and puck possession so far.
Blake wins it back on his forehand, tried to dump it into the corner, but nobody was home. And now in 4-on-4 play, a lot of open ice here. This might be something the Buffaloes will take advantage of. The Sooners were a much smaller team last year that relied on their speed to get into the dirty areas using open ice, kind of like a West Coast football offense, but on the hockey rink. This year they're much bigger, much more structured. Maybe something the Buffaloes can exploit here is how had a man break into the net. It was Rieger, but his pass attempt is deflected.
Something I've noticed about when the Sooners D do go down to pinch, there's always a forward staying back to cover for them up on the point.
Great discipline from Coach Arvanites' squad as Hunter Howe controlling on the forehand. His stick was lifted, stays with it. That's Douglas Wood he's working on. And now Howe tries to let one go along the ice. It was deflected and never got home. Coming their way is Caden Eastlanik.
Hunter Howe's going to need a new twig after breaking his on this shift.
Eastlanik stood up at the blue line by Barone. It's a legal play. Do rule the officials. And now 3-on-1 in the corner go the Sooners on Douglas Wood. Barone, cross-ice pass for Goldstein. 2-on-1 developing here for Demanchuk potentially. Goldstein walking and shoots one that goes wide. A lot of heat on that puck. Now Tristan Glass nearly taken down. He is taken down by Mark Borgie, who forces his way into the zone, but Barone is there and he'll chop one all the way down the ice. Icing waved off as the Buffaloes now on the power play for 30 more seconds as Cavalcante's penalty yet to expire. We'll wrap it around here where Barone tries to forward it further. It was held in by Borgie and called his name a lot so far tonight, rather. Goldstein in deep, trying to force something, nothing available. Borgie tries to play it across and it's deflected. Here goes Carson Glass. The younger of the two brothers walking in. He's got two Buffaloes to deal with. Shoots one right into the chest of Server.
Server wanted to release that puck, whistle blown dead, but I want to call attention back to what the Sooners did right when Mark Borgie got out of the box. The Sooners immediately went into their penalty kill in the neutral zone. They get into the T. The two defensemen stand tall on the Sooners blue line, and two forecheckers standing in a T formation. Tristan Glass acting as the forward forechecker. To do that on the fly, that's pretty sound hockey.
Some impressive on-the-fly coaching from Arvanites and his captains on the ice, and another thing that did was it forced the last 3 seconds of that power play to all be taken in the Colorado zone. OU back to even strength now. Nate Payne will take his place on the ice. Rieger behind Culbertson Bond's net will try to play it off the wall to Payne. He's there, but no speed. Mondu has speed, however. He'll cut in. Nice move from Ben Mondu. Tries to go across for low, but it was deflected. Great back check on the play from Garrett Michel. Mondu back behind the net. Puck skipped over his stick. Late period ice conditions showing their hand here.
Fred Farrow just saved a goal. Excellent play from number 20 in white.
Well, Andrew Lowe nearly doubling up here in the first period. We've seen him explode onto the scene here at home as Kidde going cross ice. Weak shot from the point was blocked. 2-on-2 the other way at the Sooners hurry. It's Lowe leading the charge. Buffaloes get back for now. Kidde with a nice defensive play will force Lowe back the other way, and now the Buffaloes with speed. They get a line change on the fly, so do the Sooners. 2-on-2 into the zone. Up top, Bunting, even lane to shoot from, and Bunting's shot went wide. Backhand attempt back behind the Sooners net will be handled. And that's Garrett Michel holding on to it now. Sooners force a turnover, but it comes all the way back to Culbertson Bond. He'll melt this one down. Quincy Sooner offering some handshakes to some fans on the far side of the ring. Excuse me, Boomer, that is.
How dare you.
So Borgie right off the draw, his shot never got through, and he tumbles to the ice, courtesy of Blake Swearingen. Sooners on the breakout, tried to get something happening, but rather they iced the puck. Those uniforms look good in person. So Pasienik wins the draw back, and it'll be Gosnell intercepted by Carson Glass. He tried to find Demanchuk, and once again, the Sooners going to ice it.
Sooners really trying that long headman pass, and I like the idea, but they got to connect on one of these.
A few more games going on in the WCHL this weekend. Got Grand Canyon and UNLV in the conference matchup. Utah, Missouri State, Colorado State, and Arizona State all playing non-conference this weekend.
Excuse you, Caleb. I believe you mean 25th ranked Grand Canyon.
That they are, with a interesting record to boot as the Sooners on the breakout. It's Demanchuk trying to make something happen. He tries to go forehand to Carson Glass. Couldn't do it. Someone blew a tire back there. It was one of the Buffaloes. It was Charlie Sandberg. $1:25 left on the clock here in period number 1. Sooners leading 9-5 in shots on goal, 1-0 where it counts.
I would like to point out that if the Sooners come away with at least a point tonight, they will enter next weekend in first place in the WCHL with UCO on a bye.
So Barone plays it on his forehand for Will Blake. Sooners have something good looking here as Blake comes in on the near side. Blake drives wide, trying to buy some time for his teammates coming in off the bench. He's got Rieger on the far side, holds onto it himself, tried to let one go from the high slot. Nothing was ever going to happen there.
I don't think Blake had enough behind that puck. Maybe whiffed on it a little bit.
Starting to run out of gas as Culbertson Bond makes a nice blocker save. He pushed that one away with a purpose, and now with some speed comes Logan Sadler. Sadler knocks his man down to the ice and is able to chip it on his backhand to buy some time for his teammates. It's Glass at the point trying to hold on to it. Hunter Howe is starting to work his way into the scene now as it comes out in front for Glass. Glass on his backhand puts one out in front. That was deflected away by Matthew Server. 24 to go here in period number 1. We're in the last 30 seconds. And here come the Buffaloes. Douglas Wood, leading scorer for Colorado so far this year, gets it in onside. Hunter Howe chasing him into the defensive zone. He's upended by Tristan Glass. Big hit from 12. And now Howe trying to go the other way. Has it in his skates, soccer style, to himself. And now Sadler takes possession. 6 seconds to go. Sadler walks in, shoots one that was deflected by Nislanik. And the Sooners will settle for a 1-0 scoreboard heading into the first intermission break. 10-6 the shots on goal tally. They look a bit different tonight.
Very solid, very complete period. Honestly, quality-wise, not too different from what they showed us last night, but the big difference, they've got a 1 under their name on the scoreboard instead of a 0.
And getting the puck look they needed. A big deflection out in front of the goaltender Server. And the Sooners, with 20 minutes on the intermission clock, will make their way back to the locker room. We'll take a break alongside them here on OU Hockey TV. It's 1-0 Sooners on the only home of OU Hockey.
Step right up. Buckle up. The only direction we're headed is... Yep, you get it. Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma.
In some ways, this film is like the university itself.
The one flagship university that has served the state since before there was a state.
Its story is never entirely completed.
Where one scoop of dirt can save thousands of lives. Where one group of biologists are connecting with world-class meteorologists to protect the one world, one planet that connects us all. Whoa, that one literally might land on the moon. But that's fine, because what's stopping us from going up there and getting it? This is a team, a squad, a family, leading a collective pursuit where we share all ideas, embrace thousands of different perspectives, and require every last hand on deck.
Cleared for takeoff.
What else we got? More trophies than you can count? Check. Rhodes Scholars? Check. Largest research engine in the state? Check. The next generation realizing a new American dream? Okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's OKLAHOMA. It's the strength of many marching under one crimson and cream flag, creating Sooner magic that must be seen to be believed at the one university where one OU family makes up the one and only Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Arctic Edge Ice Arena. The scoreboard here in the intermission clock that's on it has frozen forward at the moment at 12:14, so we're just playing it by ear here for the next couple of minutes, but let's take a quick look at what the Sooners did in that first period, namely opening the scoring with Andrew Lowe.
Go out to Nompton, you'll see it. He goes out so much.
It took more than 60 minutes, but they finally got one past Matthew Server.
Yeah, and 65 minutes to be exact almost, but scoring just 5 minutes into the game, 10 shots on goal. Culbertson Bond perfect on the 8 he's faced so far, and the clock has restarted now, counting down at 11:48.
I do think that the Sooners will have more luck against Matthew Server because they are getting more bodies in front of his eyes. He's not seeing the puck as well as he did last night, so I am expecting the Sooners to put a few more behind him before this night is over.
And if the Sooners can stay competitive on the defensive end, they may be able to, in turn, blank the Buffaloes right back tonight. They have been excellent defensively in front of Culbertson Bond.
And they're just dictating the pace of play. The Buffaloes aren't getting a lot of sustained possession. They don't have the passing lanes they did last night. They're not cutting through the Sooner zone as much as they did last night as well. It's just a very sound, structured game from Arvanitis' team.
And that's what we were talking about in the Open. It's 18 months into his tenure here as head coach. They're no longer learning new concepts. They're applying learned concepts onto the ice now.
See, it's funny you say that because Coach Arvanitis said there are more concepts that he wants them to be able to do, but he's not going to make them do the next thing until they master the first thing. So I'm curious as to what else he's got in his bag of tricks because this looks pretty good.
And we really spoke to the transition that the Sooners made on the ice when they went to the penalty kill late in the period, 4-on-4 play, and you mentioned they were able to, on the fly, adjust into their penalty kill zone.
Now, I do need to point out something. I think we were lied to by the Colorado coach last night, Trace Jablin, because he said that this is a rebuilding program and they're still trying to find their identity. No, they're not. This is a really good hockey team that plays down there.
And they have played some quality hockey both nights here tonight. On the back end, they're just as stout as anybody. We talked in the Open. There are just 3 teams in the WCHL who have a goalie in the top 10 in both save percentage and goals against. It's Arizona State, UCO, and Colorado. They have 2 of them each, O'Gwen and Server.
I love playing in the WCHL, don't you, Caleb?
It is a stacked conference. They call it the Conference of Champions over there on the banner to our left here in our old home, the so-called Boomer Booth, the Crow's Nest.
Is that what we're calling it?
This is the Boomer Booth, rather.
Is this what we're calling it?
It may be what we're calling it.
I do like that name. That is a very good name.
9:49 on the intermission clock. Still counting down here. Teams in the locker. We did see a couple of the Buffaloes come out, and really feels like everybody is here tonight. This is the best turnout we've seen. The stands are packed here tonight. And, you know, there are some pretty big names in the house beyond just Boomer.
From Boomer the Horse to athletic director Joe Castiglione. He's been to a couple of games, he says. I've never seen him, but I was able to have a very nice chat with him. I actually interviewed him at the White House in Washington, D.C. over the summer for National College Athletes Day.
So you got an invite there.
I did get an invite there in the press pool. Vice President Kamala Harris was there to honor all these college athletes. There were a whole lot of teams there. I believe OU women's gymnastics was invited. OU softball did not attend because I do believe they're going to get an invite, but by their lonesomes. But a lot of college athletes there. It was a very nice day in my career, a highlight to be sure.
So let's take one more look at that logo. We'll slow it down to half speed for you, and you can just see what Coach Arvanitis talked about when we spoke to him before the game, creating chaos in front of the net.
I mean, just count the gray jerseys in front of the net. 1, 2, a rebound by Andrew Lowe, and that is becoming a bit of a staple in Andrew Lowe's game, just hammering away at the pucks in that dirty area, just like Coach Arvanitis wants. Rebound, rebound, rebound. It doesn't matter. Every goal is a goal.
Still counting down here in the intermission. Might be going a little bit longer than normal. We'll see if they bring the players out before the countdown finishes. It stuck around at 12:14 for maybe 3 or 4 minutes there. The buzzer normally sounds at 5 and 2 minutes to cue the coaches in their locker rooms that they have the respective amount of minutes to get back on the ice.
Breaking, ACHA game goes long.
Well, we got a scheduled team entrance at 7 o'clock tonight. They came to 7:08.
And I do just want to highlight the how cool that was when they honored the Native tribes for Indigenous Peoples Awareness Month. That was a fantastic ceremony, well put together, just a beautiful performance by the Native tribes. The prayer was absolutely amazing to witness firsthand.
And we'll go back after the game tonight. We'll get that clip for everybody that may not have joined us for the pregame tonight. We know we advertise Puck Drop at 7 o'clock, and you may have gotten to catch it with us, but if not, check out the OU Hockey TV Twitter account. We'll have it in its entirety up there for you, along with our YouTube channel here.
I only hope that we were able to record the prayer and the Native National Anthem as well. I hope the audio came out good. We do have a shotgun mic hooked up to pick up more natural sound just for this evening. And it sounded pretty good in the headphones, but I just really hope the people at home are able to experience that.
You can see an appearance from Server, the Buffalo's goaltender, near their entrance to the ice right now. Still just under 7 minutes left to go. Our on-ice reporter tonight, Britton Ross, having a conversation with Coach Arvanitis. We'll head over to him pretty soon when we have the opportunity.
Toby Keith is in the building.
Yeah, and we just see a post from Barry Switzer on his Twitter account that you can see Boomer and a couple of the players taking a picture with him.
This is, okay, I love social media. I love everything that is happening here. We said big names. We did not know Toby Keith was here.
And now everybody's here. And if you're not in Arctic Edge Arena, you're in Central Oklahoma, you've got time, folks. Get down here. This thing's going till about 10 o'clock tonight at the current pace. Or stick with us here on Sooner Hockey TV on YouTube. We love having you here.
Now, Caleb, I don't care what we have to do. We are getting Toby Keith in this booth.
We'll see what we can do in the next intermission.
I think that is Logan Sadler in the picture with Boomer, Toby Keith, and Barry Switzer's granddaughter.
So just Sooner royalty up and down the rafters here tonight.
So what I'm gathering from this is that Barry Switzer is not only aware of OU hockey, he has a direct family member in attendance. So does that mean that Barry Switzer will come to a game this year? The people want to know, Caleb.
Does it mean Barry Switzer's a fan of OU hockey?
Does it mean that Barry Switzer's? Oh my good, yes. How amazing would it be if we could get Barry Switzer in the booth for this? There's the possibilities are endless.
The possibilities truly are endless when you're watching OU Hockey TV here on YouTube.
Now, I did hear some rumblings that a certain other OU head coach may or may not go to an OU hockey game at some point this year. I heard rumblings of that. Cannot confirm or deny them, but that would be pretty cool.
4:40 left here in the intermission, rather. We'll stick with you until we have the Sooners back on the ice here. Some Usher playing on the speakers. You can see a nondescript red hockey jersey off to our right side tonight. There is a pretty high chance that might be the second appearance tonight of that Red Army CCCP jersey. Did they have white stripes on the shoulders, or rather the elbows?
I think that's just a old school OU jersey.
That was my first guess as well. It was producer Christian Markey who brought up the chance to me that it may be that jersey. We'll step aside for a few more minutes here on OU Hockey TV. We'll be right back in the booth for the start of period number 2. The Sooners re-enter to enter Sandman for the start of the second period. Got another appearance from Limu Emu here in the building tonight. Sooners mascot on the bench.
You get way too much usage out of the fade effects on that, Caleb.
I do, but hey, it's not us that code it. "20 minutes on the clock for period number 2. It's going to be Tristan Glass, Cavalcanti, and Sadler back out for Coach Arvanitas. They're opposite Pasienik. 10-8 the shots on. Sorry.
Pasienik is a good hockey name.
Certainly is. And he'll win the draw back here with a good hockey faceoff. And it's Kenny playing it along the boards here. Sooners dumping into the offensive zone, however.
And there's our fearless leader, Brad Bassett, GM of OU Hockey, chatting up the athletic director of the University of Oklahoma, Joe Castiglione.
Good to see him here tonight. First time I got to meet him in person, actually, since my tenure started at OU, as Colorado into the zone here with an early chance with Mark Borghi turning and twisting at the left sideboard. Another shot coming in the air. Breezes past Culbertson Bond, and that one's going to flip into the corner with Rieger on it.
Logan Sadler with a good stick there on the point, forcing Jesse Kate to make a mistake there. Or excuse me, just to force the puck wide. Not too much of a mistake. It was a nice shot from the Colorado defenseman.
So Sadler will play it in his own zone, or rather that's Hunter Howell. Only off there by about 14 numbers, Caleb, as Cavalcanti plays it on his backhand. It's intercepted by Mark Borghi, and he'll dump this one into the Sooners zone cross corner. It's a hockey jersey I do not recognize there behind the glass on the far side as the Sooners try to break out with Logan Sadler.
We're journalists, Caleb. One of us needs to figure out what jersey that is before the end of this game.
And Sadler will punch one into the boards that nearly caught the fist of Nate Payne. Buffs win the draw back one more time here as we get back underway. And once again, they're starting to establish themselves early by winning these faceoffs in the beginning of the period. OU got better at it as the first went on, but Colorado really dominated the faceoff circle early on. Nobody home at the point as they try to get rid of it. Sadler engages a foot race now with Charlie Sandberg. Sinclair had the angle but got pushed off of it by Sandberg, and now it comes up to the point. Swearingen keeps it in for the moment. And it's ruled onside by the linesman. Sinclair on his backhand to Martin. Martin drives back behind the net, now trying to twist back to, his partner Sinclair, and Martin lets one go. His first shot of the night is handled easily by Matthew Server.
Matthew Server knocking the net off its peg slightly. The officials did not notice.
And he'll handle a long shot here that will be forced to melt down with the pressure oncoming from Declan Martin, one of the most experienced Sooners on the roster. Wearing an A again this year as well, and a call at center ice? No, we don't.
What was the announcement the PA announcer just did?
I am not sure.
We can hear the Colorado bench fairly clearly, but we can't hear the PA announcer. What kind of logic is that, Caleb?
I have to turn the bass down on his mixer a little bit as Colorado wins the draw, and they try to play it aerially into the zone. Nate Payne, Johnny on the spot to stop that one. Here's Andrew Lowe on his forehand, trying to buy some space. Puts one out in front from Mondu that he couldn't get a stick to. He was looking to tip one home as Nate Payne tries to baseball one out of the air. Nate Payne back to the point now. Horn with some space to work with. Shoots one that was pushed aside by Server. Goldstein holds it in. It's played along the ice. There are 3 white jerseys there, but the Sooners still come away with the puck. It's Mondu on the backhand to Lowe. Lowe tries to cut in, but lost control of it. Sooners still in possession and threatening. Payne, wraparound opportunity was denied as the Buffaloes still try to get out in front of him. A shot was deflected wide of the net. Sooners with their best even strength attack so far tonight, and now the referees notice that the net is off the pegs.
Andrew Lowe playing to his namesake right now. He is always playing quite low in the offensive zone. He's always around that dirty area around the net, and that's where most of his goals in the Sooner uniform have come from so far.
It's not always you see a guy, of Lowe's build and stature who is really a speed player. He is one of the fastest skaters on the Sooner team, but he still gets to the dirty areas and plays above his weight class, kind of like Will Blake.
He certainly plays to the number 88 that he wears on his back.
Certainly does, as Demanchuk back behind the net. He's dogged by Douglas Wood, I believe that is, and Buffaloes come away with the puck now. It's Pashianek playing along for Hartman. Hartman couldn't get a piece of that one. Sooners get a partial line change here as Hunter Howe tries to force this man off at the blue line. They're able to come in there, are the Buffaloes, excuse me. Howe on his backhand tries to get it out of the zone to Manchuk. Out in front of his own net, it's turned over. Buffalo's threatening now. A lot of space to work with as this shot was deflected wide. No danger for Culbertson Bond. And that one well out of the zone. Colorado's going to have to regroup. It's John Ferguson who couldn't hold it in.
And there is a lone Colorado player who wears crimson gloves. That is Rapolas Marcinkavicius. That is a, I'm not sure where those crimson gloves come from. Perhaps a club team he's played for in the past, but bit of a out of the norm for the Colorado uniform.
It's a very deep maroon, kind of reminiscent of the Jinx High School colors here in Oklahoma as Server will melt one down.
Okay, Mr. K-Ref football, let's settle down there.
End around on 2nd and 11 in
Will
your own
you
territory.
stop it? Don't reference other broadcasts in this booth. This is a hockey booth.
So we'll put that topic on ice. So Tristan Glass will take the draw back, and it's won by Colorado. They'll force it out of the zone on the stick. Excuse me. Of Douglas Wood, and back behind the net now. Blake Swearingen puts his man down. A couple of bodies go down. Swearingen involved in the collision. Now Sadler on his backhand right in front of Culbertson Bond. He'll try to cut through the ice. A lot of space to work with here for number 9. Out in front of the net. Tries a power move, and he's drinking down. It'll be a penalty upcoming on the play.
Sadler almost pulled a Bobby Orr there. That would have been a nice clip to put that in.
So we're going to go down ringside for Britton Ross. It was a quick report for us. And we will go back to him in just a moment, actually. Sorry, Britton. And
I didn't see the clip there, and I don't think I want to see it.
That made my kidneys hurt. That was funny.
He tells us to go, cut to him for the next stoppage and play, and he's not ready. Typical. Unbelievable. I hope he can hear me too.
So 15:33 is. Looks like no penalty is going to be called on the play. Or there was, rather just not on the scoreboard quite yet.
I didn't say I was ready, he says.
And the Sooners, 4th power play opportunity of the night. None of them have gone the full 2 minutes. They committed their own penalty on the latter 2, scored on the first. Barone back near the blue line goes to Mondu. He had a big hand in that first goal. Now has the catch back to Barone.
It's time to get our friend from Quebec a goal.
There's Mondu holding on, shoots one that was deflected and held on to by Server.
Okay, if he had scored that, I would have lost my mind.
We'll keep manifesting for our power play centermen.
Our Quebecois compatriots wearing the number 37. The former South Lake Carroll Dragon.
So Mondu on the backhand, it's won back with the help of Lowe, contested draw. And now Mondu, the centerman, along the sideboards. He has Barone hanging out nearby, goes back to him. Barone almost lost control, regains it, and goes to Sinclair. And he'll look for a lane to work with. Tries to go in front for Payne. Payne on the backhand, couldn't get a shot away. And now Sinclair will reload to the point, lost control of the puck, and away go the Buffaloes. It's Pashianek walking in, partial breakaway. Barone trying to get back. Pashianek shoots one, and Barone knocked it away on the back check.
Barone has just stacked up the good plays in the defensive zone this weekend and chalked that one up in that column.
3-on-2 for the Sooners. The other way as a shot along the ice was put aside by Server Mondu, trying to crack the score column still.
A good 3-on-2 there for the Sooners, and Mondu took a nice shot there, but Matthew Server with no one in front of his face, he's gonna make that save 9 times out of 10.
So Andrew Lowe with 51 seconds left on the man advantage, cuts hard along the right sideboards, on his forehand now, pushes it back in. Cavalcanti, Johnny on the spot, taken down hard, an illegal check. Excuse me. No harm, no foul there. As the Buffaloes back to center ice, have a player go down. No call there as well.
Typically a legal check, not illegal check.
We won't mince our words again here as Sadler back into the zone with Tristan Glass. 3-on-2 in favor of the Buffaloes. Cavalcanti is the trailer. Partial line change now. Howe onto the ice. He's waiting for it at the blue line. Dumps it in deep for Sadler. Sadler, a couple of nifty moves now in deep for Glass. Glass back to Sadler near the bumper. Goes across the zone for Sinclair. Howe at the point. Sadler again. Howe lets one go. Tipped in front and went wide.
Logan Sadler is a very solid protector of the puck.
And he takes another shot there that is swallowed by Server. And now with them ready, we'll go down to our ringside reporter, Britton Ross, with a report for us.
Thanks, Ben. So we had talked a lot about pregame, about how the Sooners want to make life difficult for the Colorado goalies, make them start moving a lot, and just give them really difficult shots. I talked with Coach Arvanitis after the first intermission, and he said that, yeah, the number of shots is lower than last night, but the quality of shot is much higher. Right now, the Sooners only have 14 shots on goal, and so they want to keep attacking. Now, switching back over to football, the Sooner football team didn't play today, but Sooner Nation's favorite team to hate, the University of Southern California, is currently losing 24-6 again at Notre Dame. Back up to you guys.
Touchdown, Jesus is a friend of mine. Caleb, how about you?
A friend of mine, too. Especially when it comes to taking down USC, one of the few occasions I'll root for Notre Dame.
Not even when you watch Rudy?
I'll root for them when I watch Rudy. If they play USC and if they play Texas.
Now, my opinion on the movie Rudy, it's overrated. It is not a good movie. I'm sorry, it is not a good movie. I can name 10 sports movies better than Rudy.
It was a poor coaching decision to put him in there, and they got lucky.
I still think that play was rigged.
So Will Blake in the doubt. We're back to even strength. Howe lets one go that was blocked, and the Buffaloes will try to escape the zone here. One-on-one now. Goldstein is locked in combat with Fred Farrow.
Look, man, what do you do when you're one-on-one going up against the 6'6", 200-pound Adam Goldstein?
Well, you try to outspeed him. They couldn't do it there. He is sneaky fast, is number 2 in gray tonight, as the Sooners turn it over in their own zone. It's Foy driving in on the aforementioned Goldstein. He'll play on the backhand. Sharp angle shot, never got through. And now Goldstein plays it up for Demanchuk. Nice looking pass there, and the Sooners have a breakout. Glass and Blake came together at the neutral zone. Sooners still in control for the moment on the stick of Carson Glass.
On the note of Carson Glass, I think it's interesting. It really shows the depth the Sooners have. Carson Glass, Will Blake, and Matthew Demanchuk were really the top line of the Sooners team for the Game 2 against Arkansas. And they've been more of a bottom 6 line in these last couple of games here. It's really a testament to how deep this Sooners team is.
And there's a textbook hip check by Goldstein to knock his man off the puck, force the puck in deep, and the Sooners get a free line change out of it. Demanchuk tired and off the ice now for Duncan Hollander.
Matthew Demanchuk, one of 6 local Oklahomans on OU's roster.
So 12:04 to go now. 12:03. We'll get a stoppage of play. Shots on goal 16-8 in favor of Oklahoma. Still 1-0 where it counts. I don't think we expected any kind of defensive game here in either Friday or Saturday night.
Well, it's just that kind of conference. It's 2 very talented teams playing some very sound defensive hockey. And Matthew Server and Brendan Culbertson-Bond, they're 2 rock-solid goaltenders.
Good defensive fronts in front of them as well as Rieger off the draw, plays it on his forehand to Hollander. He couldn't control the pass.
And of course, when any two WCHL teams play here, that logo sitting at center ice always looms large.
It does. Neither of these teams have played UCO yet, as a turnover in front. Buffaloes with their best chance of the night. It was cleaned up by 4 collapsing Sooners, who all came back to protect the net. Turned over again, though, as Rieger has to fight for it right at the blue line. Big collision in front of us. It's Hollander back to his feet, who tried to force it right past McConaughey. There are 2 Sooners and 2 Buffaloes locked right below us here in the booth. A third one in white comes to pick the puck up. Cross-corner dump in for the Sooners, who have been caught on their heels for the past couple of minutes of game time. That was a much-needed line change, and a turnover out in front low. Nearly put his second one in the net tonight. Best save of the night for Server. Ondu back behind the net again. A lot of space for Swearingen. He holds on to it, lets one go along the ice, tipped and never got through.
I would be remiss to not point out that pretty much every guy who's been on the ice tonight could play NCAA D3 if they were so inclined. I'm just going to put that out there.
But they chose to come here and put on the crimson and cream, or the gold and black for Colorado. Those big-name schools, the atmosphere, the culture on campus. It is worth coming here and playing in the ACHA and the WCHL. As Lowe back behind the net tries to get in the slot. Here's Payne with a blast that was saved by Server.
And that's Ben Mondu in front of Server's eyes there. A lot more screens. We've been harping on it all night, and that is a big shot from Nate Payne.
Rocket off the stick of number 11. It'll be Glass, Cavalcanti, and Sadler back in the face-off dot to start things off for us, and Hartman is going to win back a contested draw for the Buffaloes. Cavalcanti, first one to the puck, though. Backhands it in front for Sadler. Sadler couldn't control it. Tristan Glass is going to have to race over and get it. Sooners moving around quite a bit here in the zone on a very active shift. Here's Sadler walking in, gets it across for Howe. Howe walks in and shoots one off the crossbar. That was Connor Horn. Check it.
Good idea and good vision from Sadler to see Connor Horn coming down from the point. That could have made it 2-0.
Matthew Server keeping his team in this hockey game in the second period, where the Sooners have outshot the Buffaloes 9-0 through 9 minutes and some change.
It's a testament to how deep the Sooners team is when you can just, there are so many guys now that Arvanitis can just point to and say, hey, go get a goal.
So Glass off the draw, tries to win it forward. He does, and now play it off the wall for Barone. Nice bank pass. Shot out in front was tipped by Cavalcanti. It never got through. I think Server may have got a piece of it now. Cavalcanti again, spinning shot. Didn't get through either. Server Johnny on the spot to pad that one away. Sadler giving chase, trying to knock down Kitty. He can't do it, and now Jake Barone on his forehand puts it back in the offensive zone. Sooners caught in a change here. They can't get on the attack. Cavalcanti still dangerous, though, as Will Blake forces a turnover, and he'll gain the zone onside. Sadler still out there, taken down, couldn't get the shot away. He and Kitty both tumbled to the ice. Colorado with some speed now, 3-on-2 if they hurry. They're going to try to cross the opposite side of the ice. They stay onside. Here's Brown walking in with a on-the-ice shot that never got through. Douglas Wood, on the shot, and some extracurriculars behind the net. Barone got in combat with somebody.
I was just about to compliment the Colorado bench on the lack of the usage of salty language.
And the Sooners are going to go back to the power play here for the 5th time tonight. Cavalcanti taken down. He gets back up to his feet, and now Blake on the rush shoots one that was pushed aside by Server. And now with the Buffaloes touching up, the Sooners will go back to the man advantage after I think it was Cavalcanti that drew it.
Adam Trunco, the Colorado captain, being sent to the sin bin. Colorado bench does not approve of the call.
See Joe Castiglione having a conversation now with the most famous man in the building.
I would argue the most famous man from the state of Oklahoma.
Former defensive end he's tried out at defensive end for one of the Oklahoma City indoor football teams. Did not make it, and I think he may have made the right choice in his career path that he took.
He's made a lot of money in the career that he took.
So the Sooners on the power play, they were 1 for 3 in the first period, 0 for 1 so far in the second, and what was their only power play to go the full 2 minutes. Lowe controls in his own zone right now. It's the top scoring line out for Arvanitis. Lowe, Mondu, and Payne. Confusion for the Sooners. Foy forces a turnover. And now it's Mondu trying to force his way back into the offensive zone.
I've been racking my brain for Toby Keith song titles, and so far all I've got is I Ain't As Good As I Once Was.
So here's Barone back at the point.
There's something in there somewhere. I'll work on that.
As Lowe tries to get out in front for Payne, he was tied up, never got a shot away. Sinclair looking to get something going. Mondu holding on, lets one go through traffic that was swallowed, and Lowe is taken down by Matthew Server after the play.
Mondu, he wants that second goal so bad as the linesman goes into Matthew Server. Ben Mondu, he wants that second goal by his name so badly.
Take a look at what happened there.
Caleb.
It was the far side lineman that came in and just blows a left rear tire on his way into the finish line.
Unfortunately for the linesman tonight, he is officiating a game with the only broadcast that has the instant replay capabilities.
I don't know. Sir Lewis Hamilton made it home with a blown tire.
Excellent work, Britton. Excellent work. I'll be using that in a few minutes. Don't you worry.
So Cavalcanti behind the net. The Buffaloes won the draw, but the Sooners turned them over again in their own territory on the power play. 59 seconds to go on it, but now in turn, the Buffaloes turn over the Sooners as Pasienik nearly had a breakaway. Sooners back 3-on-2. It's Sadler leading the rush. Sadler back skating to the wall now. Cross ice for Sinclair. Sinclair holds on, shoots one that was deflected wide. Rebound try goes off the post, and the net comes off the moorings.
I forgot to set an over-under for amount of nets getting knocked off for this evening, but I do believe we're at 7 tonight. 6, 7, 2. But that's a lot of, you're putting up all kinds of different fingers, Christian. I don't know what this means. We're at 6. Thank you. So we've already passed the over from last night.
And still better math than any of the Excel sheets I try to make. So the Sooners win the draw back again. It's Sadler hanging on to it. Long cross-ice pass for Hunter Howell. First time we've seen him on the power play tonight. It's a new unit entirely for Coach Arvanias outside of Sadler. Goldstein, Glass, and Cavalcanti also on the ice here as 27 seconds left in the man advantage, and Howell can't soccer style it into the zone.
A little known fact, when UCO calls this arena home, they affectionately call it the Bronco Barn. And Toby Keith loves this bar. I love this barn.
Hopefully we can make him love it too. And see, it's again as Cavalcanti shot along the ice, nearly made it in.
Thank you, Britton, for giving me that idea. As our second producer, Amy Acevedo, shakes her head.
This is a pro pun broadcast as the Sooners at even strength now. Goldstein shot along the ice, never got home, and here's a breakout chance for the Colorado Buffaloes.
This is a pro Toby Keith broadcast.
It's
Caleb.
McConaughey's shot deflected up into the netting, and Sooners still on top, 1-0 at 6:42.
This is also a pro Matthew McConaughey broadcast. Not Drew McConaughey. This is an anti-Drew McConaughey broadcast.
Sooners still yet to allow a shot on goal this period. 6:42 left in it, and 24-8 the total right now. Contested draw is forced into the corner. Rieger, little misdirection, got McConaughey off of his kilter there, and the Sooners are able to break out. Far ahead of the play is Lowe. He has to stop up at the line and remain onside. As now Mondu tries to drag in. He's got some space to work with now behind the net and pushes along to Nate Payne. He had Rieger at the blue line and likes to go deep instead with it. Loose puck around the goal is forwarded by Andrew Lowe for Swearingen. Swearingen shot along the ice is knocked down by Server. Server now 24 of 25 for shots on goal tonight. Sooners are getting more quality chances, but here come the Bucks with one of their own. It's McConaughey driving in on his backhand, and the pass opportunity wasn't there. Taken down on the play, and not happy about it is the bench. George Issa was driving in. Now Lowe with a nice move at center ice. He walks in with a chance. Lowe's shot is just wide of the net and Server.
You just got to put that one on net. You can't afford to go wide there on an opportunity like that.
Lowe elects to not take an open ice check opportunity as the Buffaloes regain the zone. Swearingen, Johnny on the spot to backhand that one to Jacob Rieger. Held in by Ferguson, and now Lowe on his backhand. He takes a big hit from George Issa, returning the favor to number 88. Borgie to Bunting now as Buffaloes try to work into the zone. First shot on net for them as Culbertson-Bond puts it away. And another big hit on the backhand. Swearingen takes down Mark Borgie. He's slow to get up, but now working his way back to his feet. Wanted a call that he's not going to get. An aerial flip to center ice. The Sooners are able to clear, and they're going to get a line change out of this. Borgie back to his feet now. Chin strap came loose on his helmet, but he's going to stay on the ice and finish his shift. Here's Carson Glass trying to drive his way in. Sooners back in the offensive zone as a shot along the ice is pushed aside. Will Blake cuts through the zone, and he's able to get control of the puck. Tries to sweep one on net. Wasn't available, and the rebound was forced on by Demanchuk. He couldn't put it home.
When the Sooners get these pucks in these dirty areas right in front of Matthew Server, these are prime scoring chances and prime scoring areas. They need to stop putting the puck right into the buffalo on Matthew Server's chest.
Yeah, we had a bit of a bit here in our booth last year at the Bedlam on Ice series about the amount of black eyes Pistol Pete was getting with Warren Lipinski in that. The Sooners put 60 shots on goal right into the jaw of Pistol Pete that night.
Warren Lipinski's... Okay,
we're gonna have a quick break here as the benches are getting involved, and those Sooner fans love it. Draws.
2 and 10 has been called on the Buffaloes.
Oh, the music is still playing. That's what they're upset about, and it finally is. Gomachuk out in front, nearly put it home on a turnover. Blake's shot, it goes high of the net and into the netting. It's caught up there, and we'll get a stoppage. Culbertson-Bond, a fly on the wall for this conversation.
As he's just, Culbertson-Bond as always in his own world in his crease.
He is the most interesting goalie in the world, as coined by partner Ben Dackey next to me, the Buffalo's controlled this one in their own zone. They're sticking around, though, and the Sooners turned them over.
Hey, if OU Barstool ever wants to print shirts with us, we are totally 100% available. Like, I don't know what NIL rules there are for ACHA hockey, but we're available.
Reach out, guys. DMs are open on Twitter for any kind of collaborations that local businesses here might want to have with the hockey team.
These uniforms were designed by a friendly face on Oklahoma University Twitter in Sooner Tracker, who once again did a outstanding job.
Hollander nearly forced a turnover in the neutral zone. It goes around the boards, and now Connor Horn is going to have to step up and take a hit from Douglas Wood. Good time as any to mention that OU Hockey is a non-profit organization within the ACHA, and your tax-deductible donation can help push the team forward to new heights this year. You can head on over to ouhockey.com and the Support Us tab to look into how you can donate or support the team through advertising.
Paul Bissonette wishes he could read ads as good as you do, Caleb.
William Baird in on the forecheck is causing some problems for the Buffaloes on the breakout. They are able to escape the zone, but Duncan Hollander being stingy on the forecheck as well.
These OU uniforms, they remind me, the red pants contrasting with the darker color jersey, they remind me of the heritage uniforms that the Winnipeg Jets wear from time to time. Just the red pants just really complete the look.
Turnover for Sinclair, and his shot is gloved out of the air by Server.
Look, it's a big shot from a big player in Brendan Sinclair, but that's just too easy for Matthew Server when there's no one in front of him. It's like playing shortstop for him.
Sooners now lead the shots on goal counter 17-3 in period number 2, 27-11 in total for the game.
I was really confused there. I didn't know you were going with the period, with the second period, and I was getting ready to jump in to correct you.
For the Sooners, the contested draw, they're able to backhand it towards the net. Server pushes it aside where it's Ford pushing it around the boards.
It's been quite an interesting few days, Caleb, has it not?
So Goldstein, the only person within 20 feet of the puck, still takes a hit on the play from Fred Farrow, and the Sooners are trying to get out of their own zone here. They've been on their heels for a few minutes late in the second, just trying to get out of this one right now. Kidde goes across ice, a lot of space for Foy to work with, and he gains the zone. Tries to put one on net that was deflected, and it will not catch the netting. Puck was high in the air, but stays in. Right at the point was put on, and that one will catch the netting and tumble outside the ring. Souvenir for someone out there.
And one lucky fan will go home with a game ball.
Should be able to go home with the game ball in the NBA if you get it in the stands.
You certainly have the money for it.
You ever seen the Thunder tradition of letting a kid deliver the game ball from the 300 level down to the court?
I feel like that would take too long.
They throw it to the 200, then throw it to the like a reverse of the Gaylord tradition for punts. So Buffalo's on the draw, win it back. Lowe took a big hit up high from the puck. Gets back to his feet though, and he'll try to escape the zone. He leads the rush away.
I think there was a nice pack with number 88's name on it.
So Lowe cuts hard along the sideboard, tries to backhand it away. He was interrupted by 3 Buffaloes, and McConaughey tries to get it in there. Throws a hit to Nick Swearingen for good measure. And Payne walks in. Payne shoots one along the ice that was patted away with a purpose. Nice server. Mondu circling the wagon, looking for Nate Payne. Now Swearingen holds it onside, goes across for Rieger. Rieger putting it back behind the net. Mondu let it go past him, and John Ferguson was the first one there. Swearingen puts a loud slap shot cross corner. Ferguson in his own zone from McConaughey. He'll go cross ice to the Buffaloes, try to break out once again. Stood up at the line are 2 Buffalo players at once by Blake Swearingen. Throwing his weight around like an offensive lineman out there tonight. Rieger in the corner is dispossessed. It's a 2-on-2 battle between Gray and White. And now back at the point, here's Carson Glass in a foot race. He couldn't quite win it, almost sprung himself, and now a 3-on-2 developing for the Sooners. Here comes Blake. Blake drags, shoots one on the ice that was pushed aside. He nearly collided with the side of the net.
Joe Castiglione, when he saw how big some of the Sooner defensemen were, he did say he would like to see a few of them line up at tight end for OU football. And with a few of them, Adam Goldstein and Blake Swearingen in particular, I could definitely see that.
Certainly could, and they've got the speed for it. You can see just how powerful these Sooner legs are this year. We spoke to it earlier in the period. They were built on speed last year. This year they're built on structure, but no less fast.
The Colorado bench still just crying foul at the officials for this evening. They've already been served 1 2-10 so far this evening. At this rate, they might be getting another one.
So Tristan Glass from his knees nearly put the puck in the offensive zone. And the Sooners have to get back on side here. Sadler does for the moment. Cavalcanti gets it across to him. Here's Sadler with a shot put away. Cavalcanti couldn't get the rebound. Backhand try goes wide. Now one more opportunity from Sadler is sent wide of everything. I think the net's off the moorings once again back there. Whistle is now blown as OU gets possession.
The puck luck still isn't 100% in OU's favor tonight, is it?
Yeah, not something that they're going to get this weekend, it looks like. Oh, baptism by fire for the anthracite jerseys. They've been in 2 barn burners, or nail biters rather, as Goldstein wins the puck back, tried to get a tip shot out in front for Cavalcanti. He wasn't home.
I'm glad that the first time we get Toby Keith out. Oh, this could be trouble.
There's Pasienik walking in. He's got Goldstein chasing it. Pasienik in, tries to go to his backhand, and it's saved by Culbertson Bond, his best of the evening.
Pasienik tried to sneak one in on Culbertson Bond's stick side. Nice kick there by number 31. And here comes Pasienik again.
Pasienik dispossessed, and a big hit put on Hunter Howe. Back to his feet, and the Sooners the other way with a partial 2-on-1. Here's Sadler, tries to drop him for Cavalcanti. They run into each other. Sooners get a partial inches. Sadler nearly got it away for himself as bodies keep tumbling to the ice here. 4 seconds left in the period. That's how it'll end. And some extracurriculars behind the play now. The whistle blows. The puck comes out in front, and we've got helmets and gloves flying in the corner. So if there was a fighting penalty about to be given out here tonight, it is a major penalty to both sides and an automatic suspension. Remains to be seen what the call on the ice is going to be.
Swearingen giving Culbertson Bond a little tap on the rear. Congratulate his goaltender on 2 well-fought periods.
Let's take a look at the save Culbertson Bond made while we figure out the penalty situation real quick. Best chance of the evening for Colorado so far. It was Pasienik down the left wing, tried to go to his backhand, and it got through Culbertson Bond, but he was able to force it off of the far goal post.
I think if he had just kept moving towards Culbertson Bond's left, Culbertson Bond's glove side, he would have had that. Like, I don't think he needed to force that in on Culbertson Bond's stick side.
That will be the end of the period, as much as it's been overshadowed by what happened on the far side. And we still don't have a full explanation of what the penalties will be. So we'll come back and let you know what the call is. Or rather, it might be going on right in front of us right now. So with the decision being made, we'll stick with you for a moment, deliver you the call, and then go to break.
WCHL hockey, Caleb.
Yes. McConaughey making his way to the locker room. 3 Buffaloes remain on the bench, along with the captains of center ice. It's Swearingen and Glass for the Sooners having a word with the official Ennis, and Trunco for the Buffaloes.
I'd like to point out that Austin Matthews is now leading the NHL in goals. 5 goals in 2 games, Caleb.
We just saw a nice football toss on the far side of the rink.
I think a couple of the Colorado scratches having a bit of a catch.
A southpaw QB over there. Sooners coach is starting to make their way towards the locker room now. It is just Twist Parsons hanging out by the blue line. I think he'll be the one that gathers the call for OU. Zamboni's out before we can. Zamboni out on the ice now, starting his run in the OU corner of the zone. We'll go to 4-on-4 when we come back for the third period. No major penalties handed out. Maybe a break for some of the players involved there. But with that cleared out, we'll go to break here on OU Hockey TV and be right back for some second intermission coverage on OU Hockey TV.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sooner Hockey on OU Hockey TV. My name is Ben Dacchio at ice level with Oklahoma legend, country music star, Toby Keith. Mr. Keith, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Good to be here.
What brought you out here to the game tonight?
Well, my best friend has a daughter that's going to marry one of the hockey players, and Sadler. And I'm an old hockey fan. I love hockey. And so I came to the game not to support them.
So how do you think the Sooners are doing so far this evening? This is an old school Big 8 matchup whenever these two schools lined up on the football field, but we're getting it on the ice. That's a pretty cool concept, don't you think?
Cool. And to be in Oklahoma and see actual hockey, especially at the college level, is exciting too. But we're up 1-0. It's been a tough fight. Both teams been going at it pretty hard.
What players have stuck out to you on OU so far this evening?
I like the big defensemen. I like the size of our defensemen. I don't know all their names yet. It's my first game, but the goalie, our goalie's played good. So I don't know all their names, but they're physical, and they've really fought hard. They just played down in the end I'm in, and we had a lot of shots on goal. Just didn't get anything in the net.
We'll make a hockey fan out of you yet, sir. You'll learn. You'll learn those names in good time. I promise. Me and Caleb, we call so many of these games, we don't even need a spotting sheet. We're just that good.
I don't know how an announcer can keep up with hockey.
It's hard. But talking about kind of switching gears to OU football, they're also 6-0. OU hockey was 6-0 heading into last night. But Brent Venables has been running quite the show over at Gaylord Memorial so far this year.
Yeah, and USC's getting hammered right now by Notre Dame. So I don't think there's any Sooner fans out there that are miserable about that. Brent has turned the program around. He's exactly what we needed to go to the SEC. He's recruited so many good top 100 defensive players, which the previous staff didn't do, and it's showing up on the field.
Now, you talked about some of the OU defensemen here tonight. Mr. Castiglione, who was also here this evening, he said he'd like to see a few of them maybe line up at tight end for OU football. Do you think you could see that happening?
Absolutely. There's some size.
So, how did you start your journey as a hockey fan? Were you a OKC Blazers fan back in the day?
You know, actually in junior high, I started trying to learn to skate, but real hockey players are born on skate. So I could skate, and I made a couple of junior hockey teams, but playing. But I couldn't skate backwards fast enough. So they put me in goal, and finally I just played football. I just did what I knew what to do. But hockey is underrated. Hockey's one of the greatest sports in the world. And I love hockey, and I tried to play it as a kid. It was just in Oklahoma you can't. I think we got one kid that ever was born here that made it to the NHL, but it's just we're not a hockey. We don't have the ice, and we're not grown up. We're not raised as kids to skate, and you have to be born on skates to be that good.
Do you think there's room for Oklahoma with how big football is in the state? Do you think there's room for hockey to be a more mainstream sport?
Oh, absolutely. If we brought an NHL team here, it would be bigger, I think, than the Thunder. I think Oklahoma City has always supported. We had a Central Hockey League when I was a kid, and I saw Dino Cicerelli, Mike Palmatier, Hall of Fame type players that came through and played when we were under Toronto or Minnesota North Stars, and we went to every game, and the old Myriad was packed every night. I have no doubt that if we had NHL in Oklahoma City that we'd be packed.
Can't argue with that.
You can't argue that.
We're going to take a quick break. I'm Ben Dacchio. This is Toby Keith. You're watching Sooner Hockey on OU Hockey TV.
Boomer.
Step right up. Buckle up. The only direction we're headed is... Yep, you get it. Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma.
In some ways, this film is like the university itself.
The one flagship university that has served the state since before there was a state.
Its story is never entirely completed.
Where one scoop of dirt can save thousands of lives. Where one group of biologists are connecting with world-class meteorologists to protect the one world, one planet that connects us all. Whoa, that one literally might land on the moon. But that's fine, because what's stopping us from going up there and getting it? This is a team, a squad, a family, leading a collective pursuit where we share all ideas. embrace thousands of different perspectives, and require every last hand on deck.
Cleared for takeoff.
What else we got? More trophies than you can count? Check. Rhodes Scholars? Check. Largest research engine in the state? Check. The next generation realizing a new American dream? Okay. Actually, it's better than okay. It's OKLAHOMA. It's the strength of many marching under one crimson and cream flag, creating Sooner magic that must be seen to be believed at the one university where one OU family makes up the one and only Oklahoma.
To the Ice House. How about that, Ben?
This is the second time I've interviewed Mr. Castiglione. Last time it was not on film, this time it is. I interviewed this gentleman here at the White House a few months ago over the summer, and I'm not sure how many people in the world can say they've interviewed an athletic director at the White House and then at an ice rink in Edmond, Oklahoma, but I believe I'm one of a kind, sir.
Well, it's been fun. Been fun to catch you at a couple places and what you're doing for the University of Oklahoma, and been fun to watch you grow in this business.
Thank you so much, sir. But this has been a very fun game, a very classic, vintage WCHL matchup. What stuck out to you so far this evening?
The physicality. Both teams going at it. I think Oklahoma's had the better of it in the second period. At least they were down at that end. We were right there behind the goal. And it was very, very physical. And you could just see how, this is high-level hockey.
I do think that there is something to be said about the smaller NCAA D3 schools, that they do have scholarship athletes, but you have the bigger schools that offer better academic programs, and that's what brings these kids out here to play for these club teams. And there are so many Sooners players, one in particular, Hunter Howe, he played NCAA D3 up at a school in New England, and he came down here to go to just a bigger, better school. And what does that mean for you that these players want to come to your university, but to play hockey as well?
Well, I think it speaks highly of the University of Oklahoma, what we have to offer, the quality of our campus, the life on campus, what an Oklahoma degree does for people when they have it, and how they go on into the world and be very successful. Maybe these guys will get a chance to play hockey beyond their college years, but most importantly, they're getting a great experience. The coaching staff is outstanding here. I can tell with the organization behind our hockey club, they've really got it together. So I think that's part of the attraction. And most importantly, they get to be at a place and compete and have a great experience while they're finishing their degree.
Now, you have wrangled in some of the best coaches in the nation, the Patty Gassos, the Brent Venables. Porter Moser is building, hopefully, a very good program for OU men's basketball. Danny Baranchik is building a very good program for the women's team in basketball. But Coach Arvanitis came back to OU last year, and he's trying to do something similar. He's trying to get this program back to nationals. It is a club sport, but does it do you proud to see this hockey team trying to assert itself on the national stage?
It makes me proud when you see students at the University of Oklahoma having success. For people like me, that's the reason we have our jobs, is try to put people in the best position to be successful. I can do that through hiring and retaining the best coaches. We just a couple others that are doing very well. Audra Cohen has got a historical run going with women's tennis. We know what KJ Kindler did, 6 out of the last 9 national championships. Skip Johnson, what he's doing with baseball, other sports that are doing very, very well and are on the rise. So, what they do here, when you want our students to have that kind of experience and be able to say that the people around them helped them and provided the resources so they could be at their best, because then when they have the success, others see it, and then they'll want to come and follow in their footsteps. And so that's how you build that tradition and the cycle that keeps success going. And I've got a lot of pride watching OU students do so well.
Now, one more question before I let you go here. OU football, the program, nationally it was getting panned a little bit after the below 500 season, but Brent Venables has really turned it around in year 2. How much faith have you had in him throughout this whole process since you brought him here to replace Lincoln Riley?
Never wavered. And why should we? We knew what kind of a great coach he was, the staff he assembled. We don't go around making a lot of excuses. So people They see that the process is the process. And, we wanted to win more games last year. We did our very best to try to win more games. Certainly no one more dissatisfied with that than the players who put in all the work, the coaches that are coaching them. But you look behind the scenes, you could see what was being done, and you knew that it would pay dividends. We're only halfway through the season. We've accomplished 6-0, which is all we can be after 6 games. So that's a good thing. But we know for us, our best is yet to come. And it has to be that to get to the kind of goal that we want at the end of the year, and winning a conference title and getting ourselves maybe in a position to play for a national championship. That's our goal at Oklahoma every year. So we don't make any bones about it, but we don't make any excuses about it either. We got to either do it or we don't. And I just have great faith in what our coaches are doing, led by Coach Venables, and the culture that he's built with these players. So you could see them be so great, and that gives us such pride and excitement about what's to come.
A long way to go for OU football, and still a ways to go here for OU hockey here tonight. We'll be right back for the third period.
Action is back underway here at OU hockey as puck has been dropped. Sorry to get back late, folks, but those interviews, they took priority in that second period. A big thanks to Ben Dackey, big thanks to Brad Bassett, our director, Christian Markey for help setting that up. Welcome back to the booth, Ben. We've got a task to get back to now. 19:37 left as the Sooners get an early shot on goal.
I love this job!
So, with Tristan Glass back behind the OU net, we are back to the task at hand here with third period action underway. About 40 seconds in as McConaughey at his own blue line will play it. Buffalo still down by just a goal here, so despite all the festivities, all the fun, there is a job to do on the ice for the team in gray. Big shot on Colbert Sabani, puts it aside. Best chance in a while for the Buffaloes. They're coming out hot. Pashianik plays it across. He's looking for a friend. He found one. Now McConaughey in deep, turning, trying to buy some time and space. He does so. McConaughey back up top for Hartman. Hartman's shot was deflected. BCB didn't see it, but it went wide as Pashianik regains control. And it's McConaughey holding it on in deep. He'll go back behind the net. He has some space, tries to go one, going! The deflection wasn't there for Pashianik out in front. Here's Sadler. He'll come back and gain the offensive zone. He'll cut past one defender, cut past the second. Now shoot from the backhand. It was patted away. Server guarding the 5-hole well. Nearly forgot that we're 4-on-4. But here's the Colorado in with a shot that goes wide. It was Douglas Wood, their leading scorer, who nearly tied it. Openness continues. Hartman's shot went wide. Sooners hemmed in their own zone here, 4-on-4. Only good chance, the Sadler one so far.
I was not expecting to hear Toby Keith campaign for hockey in the state of Oklahoma, but here we are.
Yeah, that just happened as the Sooners went partial 2-on-1 going the other way. Goldstein leading the rush here. He's 1-on-1 with Hartman. Goldstein to his backhand, lets one go along the ice. Juicy rebound is there, but it was cleaned out well by Nislanik.
See, the thing about taller players like Goldstein, they're bigger, so they do look like they're moving slower, but those long legs let them get longer strides, and that makes them just go faster.
Yeah, those long strides coming into play there, helping him get nearly onto a breakaway, but he was held off well as the Sooners can't hold it on side, but here comes Andrew O with a lot of space. Lowe stops up along the sideboard, lets one go that's gloved by Server, and he'll hang on.
Now, for any prospective OU hockey broadcast future members, I would like to say, where else are you going to get to interview Toby Keith and Joe Castiglione in one night?
90 seconds apart?
90 seconds apart.
So Mondu in for the draw. Some stick taps going on the far side. Lowe gets away with a cross check, didn't see it. And now the Buffaloes with possession in their own zone.
Hunter Howe with it.
Howe walks in. Rebound is put aside by Server. What a save!
80 saves by Matthew Server over this weekend. That might be the best one so far.
A highlight reel save from Server that keeps his team down by just one, and maybe they can build some momentum off of that. Foley in his own zone tries to restart the breakout, and it's going to be led ahead by Michelle. And he took the penalty that the Sooners scored on earlier. They've yet to score at even strength this weekend as we get a stoppage for offside. So Blake back in the face-off dot. He is opposite George Issa, who has also been really physical tonight. Puck is dropped to resume play, and the Buffaloes will dump it in. Culbertson Baum privy to that side of his net as Demanchuk forces the puck deep. Swearingen able to escape the zone. This one is going to be just wide enough for icing, and the puck will come back into OU ice.
I'm telling you, Caleb, these Colorado players, they owe Matthew Server a beer. Like, the man has faced 80 shots in the last 2 days.
A few good options on Campus Corner if they want to go down to Norman.
I think that might be a little out of the way considering the direction they're going.
Any of our friends at Logie's are still showing OU hockey games. Hi, guys. Thanks for putting this on as Barone behind his own net will pull it back to his forehand. Still back at even strength here. 3.5 minutes gone. In period number 3, the linesman went down. He's back to his feet, and the Sooners power move into the zone with Demanchuk. Carson Glass, the lefty brother, tries to get it away. He couldn't do it, and Issa pulls away. Kitty on the back check will play across to John Ferguson. And in turn, the Buffaloes will ice one, but it's waved off by the linesman. Here's Swearingen on his backhand. It went off the chest of Carson Glass. He regains control, but is upended by 2 Buffaloes at the blue line, and we get a stoppage. Nice catch by Liam O'Gwen.
Liam O'Gwen, your favorite Colorado netminder, Caleb.
And he was in net during my debut here in the booth.
You know, it's interesting. The two of us had our debuts against respective big-time football programs, albeit this one perhaps a bit more in the past. My debut is against the Alabama Frozen Tide.
So that puck caught the netting, but it will stay in play as Horn chases it down. This may be icing if he can win the race. He doesn't. It's waved off, and the Buffaloes gain possession. It's Michelle who gets it back up to the point. Shot was blocked by Martin, and now Michelle's shot goes just high. Culbertson Bond. Willie Baird in the corner. They evade him, do 2 of the Buffaloes. And he now finds Duncan Hollander spinning away, and the Sooners get it out of the zone. It's starting to feel a bit like the Sooners really need an insurance goal here in this 3rd period.
With how good Matthew Server is playing, and with how lucky Colorado has gotten with a couple of rebounds earlier in this series, another goal can never hurt.
So they'll try and force their way deep into OU. They played probably 2/3 of the period so far on this side of the ice as Hunter Howe plays it on the backhand.
Perhaps the Buffaloes were energized by the energy of Toby Keith in the building.
So puck is wrapped around, and Samuel Pearson will wrap it back the other way. Trunco, he took a penalty earlier that he wasn't happy about, keeps it in the zone, and a shot along the ice will be held on to by Culbertson Bond.
There's been a lot of those low sweeping shots across the ice tonight.
Really on both sides, too. Both teams keeping it low, and we saw late period ice conditions come into play a couple of times at the end of the 1st period, end of the 2nd period. Manifesting some Wisconsin football vibes here tonight as Pearson and Glass face off in the face-off dot. Shot on Culbertson Bond. He held on to the rebound, and it was a juicy one in front, but he's able to force a draw.
Heavy dosage of both Glass brothers tonight. With Carson, we didn't see too much of him last night, but seeing both of the Glass clan together tonight.
Haven't seen them on a line yet together outside of the penalty kill, where they are 2 of the more physically imposing forwards here.
There is a name for a Glass brothers line somewhere. We just need to find it, and we will present our findings to Coach Arvanitas.
So Sadler takes a shoulder right below us here in front of the Colorado bench. They lose possession to Samuel Pearson. He'll try to get it up ice. He does, and the right-handed shot nearly found Trunco wide open. Sadler on his off wing trying to drive in. He's got Charlie Sandberg to deal with. He drives Sandberg to the ice and keeps control for the moment. 3 Buffaloes converge on the spot. And he got away with a slash behind the play there. Did Sadler as Swearingen regains the zone onside. He flips one towards the net. No danger. It's cross ice, and Swearingen took a big hit to make that play. Rieger on his backhand puts it deep. Sooners in the middle of a line change. They couldn't get the attack going, and Cavalcanti, the freshest legs out there, gives chase. Cavalcanti puck evades his stick again, and away come the Buffaloes with the partial 3-on-2. Walking in with a shot high of Culbertson Bond. It was Pearson who let it go, and now Cavalcanti intercepts a pass 2-1 for the Sooners. Here comes Lowe. Mondu on the right side. Lowe walking in, looks for Mondu on the backhand, and he couldn't put it home. That comes off the moorings after the fact. A Colorado player went tumbling in. They look to be okay. It's Charlie Sandberg.
Someone on the Colorado bench just said Server is giving us every chance to win this game, and I must say I agree. Matthew Server has been an absolute rock for this CU Boulder squad.
And, most notably early in the third period, he was able to make that big blocker save on a rebound. As the Sooners win another draw back here. Lowe with a tight turn, tries to force it in deep. He takes a hit from behind, but stays up. Horn awaiting the pass. It doesn't come to him, and he backs up to play the defensive zone. And now Johnny on the spot is Connor Horn. He'll try to force the play wide. He's successful in his endeavor as George Issa plays it into the corner. Horn and Issa locked in combat behind the net here. Mondu, Johnny on the spot trying to push it away from McConaughey. It's on the stick of Mondu now, and he'll forehand it out of the zone. Kide plays it off the wall, nearly intercepted by Mondu.
This top line of Lowe, Mondu, and Payne, it's just so aggressive on the forecheck.
It's been the best scoring line this year so far. Something really magical brewing here. They've been kept together since I think the beginning of the Alabama series.
And back on Matthew Server, he's just been a mountain, a Rocky Mountain, if you will, in net for the Buffaloes. Again, thank you, Britton, for that.
He is also working on a Rocky Mountain season high in saves with 35 so far tonight, or he is nearly working on one for last night.
That's good. I like that. Well done. Well done.
So Will Blake spins at the blue line, gains the zone. He's got Glass to his right side. He's dispossessed, tries to get the puck back on his backhand, and a couple of bodies go down. It gives the Sooners time to work with. Goldstein at the point, lets one go. It got through. Rebound is there. They score. It's Demanchuk, and the Sooners double the lead.
Demanchuk knocking on the door all game, is just in the right place for a juicy rebound. Puts it home. Sooners up 2-0.
And it goes back to pregame. We talked to Coach Arvanitas getting to the dirty areas tonight. Both goals in the dirtiest of those areas.
Well, with how Matthew Server has been playing over the last 2 nights, it had to be a dirty one.
And you can see Server in his net, still as calm as ever. Body language on the CU bench not quite as positive.
And the Sooners have been doing a great job. The forwards have been so aggressive, but the defensemen have done a great job of keeping their gaps, keeping Colorado under control. Jake Barone puts a man down.
I think he got two with one stone there, as Sadler is going to come back up the ice here one-on-one. Colorado back check, gets back successfully.
Little bit of swagger creeping into those anthracites.
So now Barone tries to come forward. He'll play up the rush now. Delivers a little slash to Garrett Michel for good measure after the play, and they have gotten away with one there, but this game just getting chippier and chippier. Since the first period, Sooners lead shots on goal 27-8.
I think there's something to be said with both a country music star and an athletic director of a massive university. Both comment on the physicality of WCHL play.
And we may have a problem here. I think I see 6 gray jerseys on the ice right when that whistle was blown.
And a Sooner will be going to the box. It looks like, not sure who's going to serve it yet, but Brendan Sinclair will serve the 2-minute minor.
Yeah, not the flashiest defensive player on the Sooners bench. Maybe a good choice there to have him serve the 2-minute minor, and should you spring him at the end of it, not many other players I'd rather have on a breakaway. It's Demanchuk's second goal of the season. He scored an empty netter against Alabama, I believe it was, or rather in the season opener against Arkansas on the Saturday night game. Baird loses the draw back. This is a big power play in terms of the macro aspect of this game. Here's Trunco trying to force it deep. Sooners get a big clear on the stick of Hunter Howe. Ennis, the official, and Trunco came together in their own zone, and it interrupts the Colorado power play. They've wasted about 20 seconds now just trying to get a rush together.
This is, I mean, you never want to get a bench minor, but a too many men is just not what the Sooners needed. That is just an unforced error to possibly let Colorado back into this game.
And an unforced error there from Trunco sends the puck all the way down. It's a free line change for some of the tired Sooner forwards as the Glass brothers come on the ice. We just mentioned, haven't seen them together very much, and now they'll help kill off the latter half of this penalty. Colorado still can't get it going.
Jesse Kate voicing his displeasure on the bench.
So Sooners another big clear at the zone. It was Tristan Glass that time who sends it all the way down. Server out of his net for the first time tonight. He's been really conservative in that regard. Cool custom CU pads on the netminder.
I feel like the color scheme and logo of CU just lend themselves to some great hockey equipment, as do most flagship universities across this nation of ours.
Yeah, you almost wonder why they hire big branding departments. It's just for this kind of reason. This is a really pretty uniform matchup we have in front of us tonight as Colorado will try to regain the zone here.
The Buffs are outfitted in uniforms by Jog. The Sooners outfitted in uniforms by Hockey Monkey and Sooner Tracker.
One-time shot went through the blue paint, but wide. It's McConaughey putting it in deep for Issa. Issa up top. One-time opportunity goes through the arm inside of Culbertson Bond. He may have gotten a piece of it, and it harmlessly trickled wide. Trunco in deep, holding on to it. Rather, that's Borgie. Mark Borgie holding on, shoots one that Culbertson Bond will swallow.
The Sooners, this is what they want. They want shots from the outside of the zone, because Culbertson Bond is going to stop those every single time.
Pardon the silence, folks. I think both of us are having some fun checking up on what's going on outside the hockey rink right now as we get one more valuable stoppage here to catch our breath.
Shout out Hockey House Pod.
So Garrett Michelle will play this one back to the point. One-time opportunity. Rebound is there, and Culbertson Bond got both of them.
I'm not going to say it, but there's a certain thing that oh, no. Oh, no, he's fine. We're good. Oh, nope. Barone is a little banged up.
Yeah, Barone slow to his feet here. He left his equipment behind. His twig is picked up by Blake Swearingen, and
as Anita Clark and the best training staff in the WCHL get ready to go. They've had a relatively not busy weekend thus far this weekend, but Jake Barone is going to give them a little bit of work.
Draws one back by the Buffs, but they once again push it all the way to center ice. They still having trouble keeping control of the puck in the neutral zone. When they get the forecheck established, they've been really solid tonight, but the Sooners force an icing here with under 10 to go in regulation time.
That big grin of mine next to Toby Keith, that's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I'm a smiler. I'm a smiler. I can't help that I love my job.
Can't help that OU hockey makes you smile this year with how good they've been playing as Connor Horn off the draw lets one go through traffic. He takes a hit in return, and now the Buffaloes come away with some chance here. Here's Fred Farrow walking on his off wing. He's back-checked by William Blake, who sends him to the ice.
A fantastic back check as Garrett Mashish on the breakaway chance. Just nice play by Will Blake.
Blake on the back end now trying to soccer style it to Sinclair. He couldn't do it. Sinclair's stick caught somebody on the backside, Tom and Jerry style. Sinclair cross-ice pass looking for Blake. He's able to nicely bring it down. Nice hand-eye there, and he takes a big hit afterwards from Gosnell. And there may be a penalty after the fact for this, an elbow potentially coming up. If so, it is a power play and a massive spot for OU. It is Luke Gosnell who took down William Blake going to the box here. And Ben, this is an opportunity for a kill shot. Sooner fans again giving knowing glances with the Sooner bench as kind of feels like being on an airplane when an argument breaks out a few rows behind you, I bet. So some knowing smiles from our side of the bench, and Ben Mondu will get set to take a draw here. Sooners in the power play with 8:37 to go. Nate Payne helps win it back, and Barone back on the ice. Best thing we've seen so far. He takes a big hit while doing it. And Fred Farrow once again the recipient of the puck afterwards.
Fred Farrow has made a nice couple of plays on the blue line in his own defensive zone. He's been a very sound defensive player so far this evening.
Boomer Sooner chant as loud as we've heard it all season tonight as Nate Payne plays it on the far sideboard. Andrew Lowe desperately wants the puck here, but Payne can take it coast to coast himself. Payne looking like Alex Secord from last year with that kind of move as Barone lets one go from up high. Lowe tried to tip it down, but I think Server reached out in front of the stick of Andrew Lowe and picked that one off.
With every second that the Buffs are in the penalty box, that's 1 second that just ticks down on their hopes to come back in this game. And I would like to point out one more time how much I've been begging this club to put the wagon wheel on the shoulder of the uniforms. Since freshman year I've been doing that. Finally someone with authority made them do it, which I'm eternally thankful for.
Just one more shout out to Sooner Tracker on Twitter. We'll have some words from him next week. We're scheduling an interview in the process of it right now, actually.
Oh, that's news to me. Thank you for doing that, Caleb.
So Logan Sadler twists with it right near the face-off dot. He'll hold up at the Horsehead in the offensive zone. 1:07 to go on the power play. In deep for Glass. Sooners getting well set up here. Now Barone up top. Payne again in a one-time position, goes across for Sadler. Sadler thinks better of it now. Barone, they have a catch. Cross for Payne again. He's got some space. Looks to go across for Glass. He scores! Or did he? Yes, he did. It's in. 3-0 Sooners. And what a reaction from the crowd. Here's another look at the back end of what happened. It just trickled through Server. And with how well he's played here this series, kind of a shocker to see.
As Beyonce plays us out.
So Trunco, after the draw, has won back here. The mountain just got much higher for these Buffaloes to try to climb up. Rieger on his backhand, looking for Carson Glass. And now Hunter Howell back behind his own net will carry on. On his forehand across for Rieger. Rieger takes a cross check, no call given.
I can feel the frustration boiling from the Colorado bench. It's been just a very frustrating period for them. Just a few calls not going their way. But at the end of the day, it's a 3-0 lead, and they've got about 7 minutes to come back.
So we've seen crazier things happen here at Arctic Edge Ice Arena as Gold shot is deflected high into the netting.
Carson Glass has had a couple of nice blocks here tonight.
He nearly lined somebody up at the Colorado blue line in that last exchange and just about sent them to the ice with maybe what would have been the hardest check of the night. Even surpassing that Barone one. The player didn't get an ID on him, but they barely sidestepped it.
I probably brought this up on the broadcast before, but I walked up to Carson when we were doing our first hockey time in Oklahoma of this season, and I walked up to him thinking he was Tristan because they just look so similar.
So turnover at the line. Hollander gets it into the offensive zone, and William Baird will chase in here. Most ice time for Baird so far this season as Colorado is going to force their way back into the zone. Nisa holding on to it deep. Shot from the blue line didn't get through, and Rieger from the defensive spot cleans up the loose change. Rieger again, first one through the puck for the Stingers, takes a hit from behind, goes down to a knee, and currently held on to by McConaughey. Puts him back down in retaliation, back to his feet. Shot from the blue line, tipped in front, and the rebound was fanned on by McConaughey. Rieger behind his own net, gets it away to Baird. And the Sooners nearly turn it over in their own zone again. They are able to escape here with under 6 to play. Two Sooners on the forecheck here. It's that aggressive scoring line out. Payne, Mondu, and Lowe on the ice here. Lowe nearly forces a turnover back behind the net. And now they'll go back the other direction for Hartman. Hartman turns as Nate Payne puts the check to him, and now Lowe is going to intercept the pass here. Sooner forecheck, just magical here in the third period. Payne keeps it in deep again. Mondu looks tired out there, but he's able to make something happen. Here's Lowe, deep in the zone, gets it onto his forehand, and there is a whistle behind the play. Remains to be seen what it's for. We will figure it out in just a moment. .501 on the clock, 42-22. The shots on goal total. The Buffalo Sticks have woken up here in the past 10 minutes of game time or so, where they've put on the majority of their shots since the first period. Sooners out shooting them 32-14. And 2 Buffaloes are going to the sin bin in front of us after that collision behind the play.
With 5 minutes to go, another 2-minute penalty, down 3 against a pretty good Sooners power play. It's not looking good for the Buffs.
And the power play did finally crack the score sheet this weekend. They've done it twice, I believe, now in this game. And the puck drops back to Nate Payne. He'll control with the blue line and go across to Barone. Barone stepping up right near that horse head and goes to his left side where Sadler will circle. Sadler looks deep for Cavalcanti, thinks better of it, goes across to Payne. He settles the puck down. Playing catch now are the 3 Sooners up top here, controlling the umbrella. In deep for Cavalcanti, couldn't control it. And now Demanchuk, or rather that's Glass, has to come in there and help out. Demanchuk alone behind the net, stops there, thinks about what to do with it, and he's dispossessed by a couple of Buffaloes, fighting to get the puck back and can't do it. A couple of bodies go down. That's Glass and Ferguson in on the play, and now Sadler comes away with the puck.
Something the Buffaloes need to remember is they still have some minutes in a hockey game to play. They can't lose their composure just because the few calls go against them.
And here's Nate Payne going across for Tristan Glass. Glass back up top for Payne. Payne thought about going to the back door for Sadler. Goes to Barone instead. Sadler tried to get in the middle for Cavalcanti. He was right in the prime scoring position, but the pass was interrupted, and the Sooners will reset here halfway through the power play.
I want to know where these pretzels in this booth came from.
Yeah, a couple of pretzels did just appear in front of us as Howe takes a shot that was blocked in front. That was a painful one for Bunting. That shot had some heat on it.
I bet the opening in that net looked like a pretzel for Howe. Nice and tasty to shoot at.
And so he'll pass it in deep now. Sooners still in the power play. They spent the entire time here in the Buffalo zone, save for one successful dump out. And Barone keeps it in now to keep that trend alive. Sadler, a nice pick play. They'll go across for Howe, but the puck skipped on him. Cavalcanti now going to go back up top for Howe. Looks better of it. Tries to shoot one short side, and it went wide.
It's not like Cavalcanti is short on goals this season, but it's like he really wants one, but the puck just isn't bouncing for him this weekend. He's had good chances.
Big hit from Howe. He sent one right back where it came from. And as the Sooners are able to escape the zone, he put it on Luke Gosnell, who took a elbowing call earlier tonight that the Sooners are able to capitalize on. The power play is over, and the Buffaloes have 3 minutes here to try and make something happen. Demanchuk flying down the far side. He's got Carson Glass breaking to the net, but his shot is deflected high as the driftwood is picked up by one of our linesmen.
Demanchuk is a nice little piece to stash in your bottom 6 if you just need like a guy to throw out there on the wing and just skate really fast. He's got some speed to him.
You know, in a night just full of photo shoots and photo ops, almost hard to keep up with all of them. Just want to send one more thank you to all the tribesmen that came out for the pregame ceremonies tonight. We would be remiss to not give them a massive thumbs up, a massive thank you for coming out representing and making this night, kicking it off in such a special way.
I think it's important to realize the backbone of this state's history and the heritage behind the land that we call home. And that was just a beautiful way to start a hockey game, and I hope to see that in the future during this month in OU hockey season.
While we're in the break, Colorado has taken their timeout. Probably a wise decision here. They got 2:48 to make something happen. We might not see Matthew Server again tonight. If we don't, a big prop to him here from the entire crew at OU Hockey TV for one of the best performances we've seen in the last year.
87 shots so far for him this weekend. By my count, he's saved 84 of them. Pretty good clip.
And while we get back to action here, just send one more shout out that if you want to gear yourself up in some of the newest OU Hockey apparel, you can head over to the shop tab on the newly live OUHockey.com. or come on out in person to Arctic Edge Arena. Those special anthracite uniforms you see on the ice tonight, I think it's about 20 or 30 left for sale right now.
I can see why Brad likes having you doing play-by-play because you read the ads. I just forget to do it.
So Colorado able to dispossess OU off the draw. They are going to send Server to the bench now as they have possession. Pearson couldn't get his stick to the puck. He goes down after Swearingen got a piece of him. Puck behind BCB. He lost it for a moment now. Gets it back in his sights. Issa looking for a one-timer that he lets go. It was blocked in front by two Sooners. And here's Lowe in a foot race trying to put the puck away. McConaughey is there. Takes a bit of a slash from Lowe, and he nearly dispossessed him. Lowe, stick lift, couldn't get the puck away as Colorado regains the zone. It's Rieger playing it off the boards, trying to bank one home. Hondu putting pressure on, still 6-on-4. Buffaloes can't cleanly gain the zone here. Rieger wraps it all the way around. Now back behind the net go the Buffaloes. Rieger putting pressure on, and now it's going to be Douglas Wood playing it around. His shot is saved by Culbertson Bond. Still waiting on our rinkside reporter, Britton Ross, to gather us up his next story tonight, but he is working on it below. He'll also have an interview with our OU Hockey TV player of the game. Should we get that mic cable stretched out just far enough? Fingers crossed there as Issa off the draw will play it to the left sideboards for Trunco.
Well, it all depends on how the next minute and 30 seconds go.
And rebound in front of BCB. He held onto the puck. It stays out. And a bevy of humanity in front as Trunco goes down again. Carson Glass helps him back to his feet while the linesman tries to break up whatever's going on down there.
And you know what? Shout out to Toby Keith, man. When OU softball was here last season, they left at the end of the second period. That man is a trooper, bearing the Arctic Edge cold all the way through.
It's a UCO hockey backpack in the arena tonight.
Well, with the Broncos on bye, there might be a couple of them in the arena tonight scouting the competition. They do play Colorado in Boulder next week.
Perhaps scouting the Sooners as well, as the I-35 rivalry will come back to life at the beginning of December this year. It'll be our last series before the Christmas break as Carson Glass drives towards the blue line. Colorado forces a turnover. It's Issa, and now Will Blake tries a long shot. Bullseye! 4-0 Sooners as William Blake puts it on ice. $1:14 left on the clock, and with their 43rd shot on goal, the Sooners have a 4-0 lead.
And Adam Trunco tells his team to keep their composure as his Buffalo compatriots slump back to their bench. An aura of defeat emanating from the visitors' bench.
So Baird in the faceoff dot will be contested by Martin and Hollander. He's able to win it back. Server is back in his net now for the last 66 seconds of this contest.
Will Baird, every time he gets on the ice, he just has so much jump. Like, he's got probably one of the hotter engines on the team.
Sooners will play it over to Connor Horn. Horn for Hollander, who backhands it into the zone here. We're in the final minute of play with 49 left on the clock. Baird in the own zone. He hasn't scored yet this year. He might want one for good measure as Hollander puts a forehand shot that went well wide of Matthew Server. Long pass over for Foy. Foy cross ice again as the Buffaloes trying to play a very east-west game here tonight. Didn't work. The Sooners so stingy on the blue line. Never really let them get any well-developed chances. And when they did, Brendan Culbertson-Bond has been a brick wall at net tonight.
The steady, sure of himself, most interesting goaltender of the world has just been an absolute rock.
And so he'll come back up to his feet here. Was on one knee trying to guard the post as 5 seconds left in this game. 2-1. And that's how we finish this one off. It is the Sooners taking the final game of this series some more extracurriculars after the whistle as the linemen try to break it up. But as it stands, cover the wagons, ladies and gentlemen. Sooners are off to a 7-1 start in their ACHA season in 2023.
Put that in your rankings, why don't you?
We'll see the next ones next Wednesday. We'll see y'all back here next Friday as the Colorado State Rams come to town. And we'll take a quick break here in the booth while we set up an interview with our OU hockey player of the game, Brendan Culbertson-Bond.
Shutout.
His second of the season. I'm sure it'll move him further ahead in the standings as far as save percentage and goals against average goes. And we are going to get a quick handshake line at the bottom. And I believe Britton Ross may have some words for us as well down by ringside.
Okay. Extend the legs.
Perhaps.
Maybe not quite ready.
Yeah, perhaps not yet. We'll get our microphone reset for him.
I think the Sooners coaching staff might be the best dressed coaching staff in the league. We got a assistant coach Tyler Huberty rocking a burgundy looking suit. Coach wearing a tan blazer with some dark slacks. And Mr. Glass, strength and conditioning coach, wearing what appears to be a dark gray suit. Just a very, very well-dressed group of coaches for OU.
A well-dressed group of guys on the ice, too.
This might be the two best uniforms in the conference, Caleb.
Zeros across the clock, except under the home team's number. There's a 4 right there. Sooners take it in a shutout tonight. We'll step aside for a moment while we get ready for an interview with our player of the game. Culbertson-Bond does a little dance down at center ice. And so as the Pride plays us out to the OU chant, we'll listen to it with them and step aside. Always good to have an appearance from the Pride of Oklahoma here on OU Hockey TV.
Even in spirits.
You can see the goals at their celebration right at the Horsehead. Hopefully they'll be making one on that Horsehead with the horses here in a couple of months. Looks like the officials have some wrapping up to do with the official scorekeepers.
I would like to say that our very own Britton Ross, we've made a hockey broadcaster out of him, haven't we, Caleb?
Yeah, have him trying to find his new allegiances in the NHL this year as well. I think he's leaning towards the Seattle Kraken.
I mean, new team for a new fan. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and it looks like we are just about ready to go down there in a few seconds. Brendan Culbertson-Bond getting set up. And we'll head down there right now. Britton Ross standing by with our OU hockey player of the game, Brendan Culbertson-Bond.
All right, Brendan. You guys got shut out last night. Yep. Two late goals. You guys got off to a hot start. You pitched a shutout tonight. What were you feeling about tonight's game?
The vibes today were just immaculate. Everybody in my house, I live with Trey, Atanasio, Declan Martin, and Nicholas Evatt, and we just felt really good today going to the rink. In the locker room, I don't know, something was in the air today. We were feeling like ourselves again.
Yeah, you were really hot tonight. You're literally steaming right now.
Yeah, it's hot in here today. It's like ice so bad down there. Concrete down there. It's tough.
So you guys suffered your first loss. What did Coach tell you in the locker room pregame today?
Just stick with what we know. Like yesterday, it was a test of our character, I'd say. Try not to fall back into habits that we've had the last 3 years here, which have been tough. It's just stick with our plan. Bounces weren't going our way yesterday. We got calls. Power play couldn't connect here or there, but put up another 44 shots again today, and it worked.
Yeah, you guys have put up almost 90 shots in the last 2 games. It seemed like your team controlled the puck for most of these last two games. Obviously, sometimes you just don't pull it out like last night. Do you ever get lonely down here?
That second period was very, very lonely. It was, hard to stay a bit focused there, but keep my mind in it.
All right. My last question, something I noticed as I was coming up. I noticed on the back of your helmet, Scott, did you touch my drum set?
Yes.
I know what it's from, but do you want to explain?
I am a huge Step Brothers fan. I probably know that movie by memory. Just like I can watch it in my mind. I love Will Ferrell. Anytime I'm down or happy, just Will Ferrell. Need it.
Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
Let's get our audio set up right. Thanks, Britton. Back up here in the broadcast
some
booth.
Big J journalism. This is a great broadcast team.
I could not be more proud of the crew we've gotten here together this year. We've been here for about 3 years, 4 years ourselves, but we're just leveling it up this year. And, folks, we'll have even more for you next week. Some debuts up here in the broadcast booth coming up. Do you hear yours? Yeah.
Did we lose it?
I believe we just lost that first camera was all.
Okay, that's there we go. Okay, I will say there are a few bugs, but moving on. Just an overall very strong, very complete effort from the Sooners. I mean, the Buffs had a couple of chances, but nothing really super dangerous on Culbertson Bond's net. He wasn't, like he said in the second period, he was very, very lonely for about 20 minutes. But when you don't ask a goaltender like Culbertson Bond to do that much, he's going to get you a lot more shutouts.
Yeah, he made a couple really big saves of his own late in the second period, had that notable one in the third that kept it a one-goal game at the time, nearly a tie game for the Buffaloes, but BCB his biggest save of the night. Maybe 90 seconds later, the Sooners double the lead.
And the Sooners would need the Brendan Culbertson Bond and Gage Redmond tandem to steal them a lot of games in WCHL play, but I don't think they'll need to steal many games this year, not with how this team in front of Culbertson Bond has played so far.
So maybe his best save of the night. Let's go take a quick look at it here. We'll slow it down for you. Buffs got a big rush down the ice, and like we said earlier, not really, maybe didn't need to go to the backhand on that play.
I think he should have just kept going to the glove side. I think he had him. Culbertson Bond maybe wasn't going fast enough to side. I think he had more room to shoot on Culbertson Bond's glove side, but I mean, he went stick side. Culbertson Bond stopped it, and there's a goose egg under Colorado's name on the scoreboard.
And so the goal that got Oklahoma up 2 on the score sheet, we'll take one more look at that one too in slow motion for you. It was Golting that starts the play, and then a deflection out in front. It's wide open.
And Andrew Lowe, he got a hat trick off of just making business in the dirty areas of this game, and that's what Coach Arvanitis wants out of his players, because you're not going to get a lot of open chances in this division. The hockey is just too good. Everyone's too big. Everyone's too physical. And Andrew Lowe has become a bit of a dirty goal merchant in his short time in a Sooners uniform.
And like we said, playing above his weight class, always ready to make it happen in any way possible. Andrew Lowe, top 3 in scoring on the team, scored again tonight. So did 2 more of the big scorers here, Tristan Glass and Will Blake on the score sheet too.
I mean, Will Blake, that was just a beauty of a long empty net shot. I wasn't sure if that was going to hit the net, but he did. But Tristan Glass, I mean, he's not the flashiest player. He did put up the most points of any Sooner last year, but he's just not a flashy player. He's just a very solid. He plays 200 feet. He plays solid defense in the defensive zone. That's very important for a center. He's very sound in the offensive zone. He protects the puck very well. But someone who really surprised me with his puck protection this weekend was Logan Sadler. There'd be so many times he'd just be going deep into the offensive zone, down wide, down the wing, and he just used his body to protect the puck, and Colorado just couldn't get it off his stick.
Yeah, they had a really hard time dispossessing the Sooners deep in the offensive zone. Both teams had trouble trying to force the other one's forecheck out of the zone. All the chaos really in the neutral zone or right in front of the net, which the Sooners took great advantage of.
This was just a beautiful game to watch. Coach Arvanitis' system, the rebuild process has just been, the tree is bearing so much fruit right now, Caleb. It's just been an absolute joy to watch. This is not even close to the team they were a year ago.
Yeah, we still have so many thank yous to send out for tonight to both the tribesmen that came out here, some of the leaders of those indigenous groups, to Brad Bassett, our GM, Peter Arvanitis, the head coach, everybody here at the OU Hockey TV crew, and of course, everybody at home watching us tonight. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts here. Everybody at the arena, have a safe trip home. For everybody watching at home, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. This was Sooner Hockey tonight on OU Hockey TV.